Last week we got our third different winner on the season. Will we get a fourth tonight in Imola? We'll just have to find out. The last time we were here, we had Korsman take his final win. Before that, it was the Chiller's most recent win. This circuit has provided many classic moments throughout the time we've ran here in RPL, whether it's from bad or good reasons. We've had Crashgate happen. We've had Iran Maxwell G pick up some wins here, one of his most successful circuits. We've had a wet race happen here before a few seasons ago that saw some upsets, and last season as well, a 4-5-way fight for the victory. I'm your commentator for tonight, Ryan Searles, and alongside me is someone different than RPL Titan Iron usually. Titan is on vacation, or holidays, you guys would call it, but I have alongside me Eggles, and you may be wondering, why is he here? Well, quick explanation, he probably don't want to hear it too much. He is banned from the next 5 Tier 1 races, so I figured with Titan not being here, didn't really have anyone in place, Lando doing the 24 hours of spa, put Egg in. And Egg, I'm glad to have you here. Good to have you. 5-time podium sitter.
Yeah, it's good to be here. I'm excited for Imola. Going to be a loads of track limit penalties for everyone because
Oh my god.
the game's broken. But yes,
Yeah.
we've got some fresh faces or fresh to Tier 1 faces in here today, so it could be a good one.
It very well could be. Lots of interesting storylines into this event. Just a recap of last week for people who are not aware. In the steward's room, Leo Lund was penalized, and because of that, he loses his 100% podium rate that he had prior. Reese Dainty, to no surprise after what we had covered, he took the victory, and he takes a victory in yet another consecutive season. He took it in the steward's office once again. One of the other things about Race's win is he did it with floor damage, so makes it a bit more impressive. But Cam, he finished second, third place in that race. You had NRM KVS for Alpine, a very good effort from KVS. Cam also did his from the back of the field after clipping the wall in qualifying. Lots of interesting things came out of last week, Egg, but I think the biggest one comes from stuff we found out as an admin team, how we obviously remember 2 seasons ago, Annex was in the league. He was caught cheating, but he's come into RPL once again, now on 2 different accounts, Be Good and at least raced under 2 different accounts, Be Good and Speed, and he was caught as an alt account, a Smurf account as they would call it. And that was the big storyline out of last week. He has been disqualified from the previous race results for that. That's based on past precedent. The way it goes, we did check his files, same with Leo Lund, they're all good, both them, but Leo Lund's not an alt, Speed is. So that is the big headlines coming out of last week's race. He was disqualified, and because of that, we're going to get a new V-Carb then.
Yeah, I mean, after the Tier 1 race last weekend, me and Brian and also Reese Dainty all did some digging, our separate digging. And we found some people who would try and help us. We got help from the AMS team. A couple of their owners helped us out as well. And yeah, it turned out that Speed was indeed, as suspected previously, Annex, a former cheater. And while the account Speed wasn't actually cheating, we don't want former cheaters in RPL. Whether or not they are cheating now is not relevant.
And if you come in under an alt account, I mean, you might get a chance eventually, but if you keep doing it so constantly, you're never going to get a chance again. So that's just the way it goes. And yeah, Speed and TB, 2 teammates last week who clashed. That's going to be a big talking point into this week. TB, can he keep it clean with his teammates? This time he's got Jake Bandy, who took pole in Tier 3 in Imola here. Speaking of Tier 3, our winners so far from this weekend. Tier 3, we had George F. Williams take the victory in Baku. We had a first-time podium sitter with Drift King there. John was on the podium in Tier 2. He actually was on the top step. He took the victory. He is racing in the McLaren tonight as a reserve because Hunted is not here. John won the race in Silverstone Tier 2, minimizing the championship gap. You had a first-time podium sitter with C. Davies, I believe it was, in the Mercedes. Unless, no, Samgino, excuse me, Samgino. I got the other Mercedes confused. But, yep, 2 podium sitters. First time so far this weekend. Tadpole 1 F2, Metal 1 F2. So, lots of good things to look forward to into tonight's race based on this weekend so far, Egg. But, with that being said, for John's case, and even others who are in here, Jake Bandy on loan, Robin, who caused some controversy in F2, racing as a reserve, Red Fire in here, filling in for you, Egg. Metal's in here. Lewis Piper's a reserve. A lot of drivers in here having big hopes and big pressure to their name, to say the least, though, for sure.
Yeah, and for John's case, he is the only one of the reserves really in a top car, the best car in the game. So, and while he drives it in Tier 2, it's a big step up. So he's going to have to bring his A game. He's going to have to deal with people probably being quicker than him. He's going to have to work his way around probably not being the quickest, especially with his teammate in the lobby. And he's probably got to fight his way through the field and try and stay out of trouble. Another, I'm interested about Medal. I've never actually seen him drive an F1 car. I've seen him drive F2 cars quite well, but I've never ever seen him drive an F1 car in any tier. So I'm interested about that as well.
His most recent F1 start comes from last season in Vegas, where he scored a points finish on the late restart for Alfa Romeo P8, I believe it was. So
I'm surprised I didn't know
Metal
about
could
that.
do a good job if called up. Yeah, no, he did a good job at, to say the least. He didn't qualify the one. Yeah, no, I know. I was surprised you didn't remember that, but it happens. There's a lot of things I forget throughout these races as well. One thing I have not forgot about, though, to mention, speaking of some headlines, it's VCarb and Ferrari's home race for the event tonight. We are readying up, getting ready for qualifying, full qualifying ahead of us for the event tonight. But yes, Ferrari have Cam in, they have Tadpole in, the main cars. Gecko and Skither both missing. In the VCarbs, Jake Bandy and TB in. But the only driver who's in here for tonight's event that is their home race would be the Chiller. And it's the last track he won at 2 seasons ago, Egg. I'm sure he would love to return back up there once again tonight.
I think if he wins in the same manner he did last time he won here, then it's going to be a cracker. But yeah, going into quali now, I'm also interested to see if Robin Brain can overcome his ability of readying up before the host this week. We'll see how he does with that. And yeah, here we go into quali.
So, just a reminder for the championship standings as we head into qualifying. For those of you not aware, Leo Lund leads this championship, but he only leads it by 37 points. And although that may not be a small margin at all, with the errors we've seen forced to Leo Lund, with the amount of safety cars, with the interesting, I'll say, driving standards the last couple of weeks, anything can happen. And that 37-point gap is very big, especially considering it's a shorter season than we've had the last few as well. So looks like it is a dry qualifying currently, but as I'm clicking onto other streams and looking for the event, I don't know about any rain or not. We're going to find out.
It's cloudy.
It looks like Q3 there's a chance of rain. It looks like it is supposed to rain in Q3 or later in qualifying at least. The race apparently is dry. So that is good to know. So maybe something like the Witch Egg, where we would see drivers on their final lap or first laps of Q3 be their final lap and end up making it one and done and making it the best lap possible, similar to Brazil 2022 in real life, maybe.
Yeah, I hope Robin Brown has a quali ban. Otherwise, he's just not doing quali. Do you know if he has a quali ban? Have a look.
He might. I think he does, though, from the penalty points he got last week. Let's speak about any drivers having qualifying bans. Blonde has one, Robin has one, and Egg, we already went over you. You have a 5-weekend ban, so...
Yes.
Yeah.
Obviously for my antics in Tier 2, but we'll be back for Hungary.
F2.
Yeah, F2, sorry. We'll be back
okay.
for Hungary, and we'll be cooking, don't you worry.
Well, I know you're very hyped for that one. I'm hyped for you. You know, some of the other drivers missing as well. For those not aware, we have full-time Sauber drivers missing. That's why you have C. Davies, who got loaned out to there in the car for tonight's event. Usually you'd have Osku or even J&T in there, but J&T dropped down to Tier 2. Medals in the Haas, usually you'd have Tadpole and Cam up there, but like I said, Gecko and Skither, they're missing. Red Fire is in for you. Williams usually would have Samuel Drake Lee and their second of Kieran, but I believe Kieran moved up to the Mercedes tonight. Is that correct? Yes, it is. His last race at one of the Italian circuits came back here in season 9. Jake Bandy is a qualifying ban, by the way. He got loaned out last minute. He's serving that now. Blonde leaving the session, coming back. But big moment from the fake TB. I know you saw that. Let's get to laps. Egg, this circuit's going to be treacherous for the drivers. Every single driver in Tier 3 picked up a track limit penalty in this race.
I don't think we'll see that level of penalties, but I'm certainly expecting to see a lot of penalties. A big moment for the TB, fake TB, as you said, in turn 1 there. The curves here are just
Treacherous?
awful.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
and the track limits are even worse. So it is certainly a challenging circuit, a high downforce circuit. You need a lot of wing on the car, and the cars that will really do well here are the ones that can handle the high wing while still being good in straight lines, such as the McLaren and the Ferrari is good at that as well.
That was Red Fire Tiger, by the way, going out of bounds over the track limits and getting an invalidation. It seems like even if you put almost all 4 tires off, it invalidates you at the circuit, and I know a lot of people have complained about the track limits. We'll keep an eye out for that, as I think John, because of all the track limit deletions and everything that's happened so far, will be the first one to properly set a lap. TB made a big mistake on his lap. Red Fire invalidated. John's coming into the final couple of corners. Blonde has joined us for the 20th runner in the Alpine on loan. John crosses. He's got a 14.5. That will be the benchmark. And I would have to say, based on the cloud cover, I'm really thinking you want to get out there. Even if it's not going to rain now, I don't know what the conditions are going to do. And even with that being said, you got to be careful of knowing that. And Blonde serves a qualifying ban for being late into the lineup. So that means Egg will only be losing 2.
Yes, as we have Jack going into P2 there, just slotting in behind John. That's quite a good benchmark, I think, by John. The Q1 grip is obviously lower than what you'll get in the end of qualifying in the other sessions, and I expect pole to be. I want to say Leo Lum will do a mid 13 or something, maybe a bit lower than that. I'm not sure, but
Quite a ways way to go. Yeah, 14-0 from Reese. To the top, our winner last week.
Wowee. Someone I've slated. He's doing well these past couple of weeks. So let's see what he can do today.
I mean, if you don't mind me talking about it, Egg, I mean, him and Cookie both got contract extensions for next season in RPL F1 for the Red Bulls. Cookie has not necessarily been on it too much, but he's a champion, and he's won a race this season, and he's proven he can be up there, and especially on pace. Maybe not the results always, but he has been ahead of his teammate quite a bit. I'd say that's deserved, but for Reese, he deserved the win last week. There's no doubt about that. It was a bit in silly situations, though, because there was constant safety cars, constant messes going on, but I would only say Reese deserves his contract extension if he can keep up the consistency of getting these results. We saw in Saudi Arabia, Egg, he ended up pitting from race-winning contention and did not get the results. So Reese needs the results, I think, if he wants to solidify himself as someone who deserves this car for next season, excuse me.
I think was Cookie invalidates last corner. That's not ideal. He's going to give his teammate a toe. No, he's not. He's going to pits. Yeah, I think Reese needs to continue with his level of form. Kieran goes into 4th. Reese needs to continue this level of form. He was good in Japan, just didn't really get the result, and then he got the win in Miami. He needs to be strong today, and he needs to have a good run of races now. He needs to avoid what Perez is doing in real life, pretty much.
And to be fair, Reese did get a personal record last season of most consecutive podiums for himself in RPL, which deserves the credit, but after that streak ended, he hadn't really done it consecutively much anymore. The most he ever went is 2 in a row, and considering the car he is in, it should be better than that. So that is why there have been a lot of critics toward Reese and maybe, oh, will he lose his seat? Well, Cookie really kind of put it in a way where it was not really in doubt unless he just failed to win. And it seems like he's got that win off his back, but Perez got contract extensions early and then performed poorly. So hopefully Reese can continue this good form. And even Imola, 2 seasons ago here, actually last season, it was his first race back with Red Bull. And then 2 seasons ago, he was in contention with Jack for the victory. But I think the teammates kind of messed each other over there.
Yes, I've heard many a story about Imola 2 seasons ago. As C Davies goes P8, slowest had set a time so far. Yeah, Reese, he's a driver who goes off confidence, I think. Once he's in a streak of poor results slash poor just general
Ooh.
races, he does tend to struggle more than usual. Ooh.
And that's not good. We want to see drivers continue to have good streaks, because if that's the case for Leo Lund, then tonight could be a very big race for him as well in terms of this being wide open.
Yeah, Leo needs to stamp authority. I think he's had a couple races in a row now where he obviously hasn't won. Japan he just should have won though. But he's not won since round 3 in Australia. He needs to just stamp authority on the championship. I think he's still in control of it, but a win here would really put a message down to the rest of the grid, I think.
And because of the whole situation with speed, McLaren, by the way, they lead the constructors, but only by 17 points. Ferrari are second, Red Bull are third, Aston Martin are fourth, and it's a 27-point gap. So even guys like Tadpole, who I'm riding on board with now, Egg, they need to do a good job for their respective teams tonight. Whether they're called up to higher cars, such as Kieran or Red Fire compared to usual, or Cam and Tadpole. They need to do good jobs tonight if they want to help out their teams in their respective race for the constructors. Red Bull are trying to go for 7 in a row for F1, something that's not been done. It'd be big if they could do that. They're definitely putting themselves back in the race, but a lot can still happen, as we know.
Yeah, I think obviously Cam's coming off the back of a good weekend in the Ferrari. He's here again in the Ferrari. Tadpole goes P2, not bad. Cam's coming off a good weekend after he crashed in Q1. Don't know how he managed it, but he came back in the race, finished I think P2 after it was all decided.
Yes.
Second
podium in F1.
Yes, he needs to continue that and have another strong week. And he's got Tadpole here as well, who got, well, I don't want to say banned. He got moved out of tier 2 for being too quick. And he's been in the Haas, I think, most races, and he's in the Ferrari today for the first time in this season, I think.
That would be correct. I believe his last chance that he got in that Ferrari, the main Ferrari, would be back, at least in Tier 1, back in Australia. The season opener of F1 23. Cookie slots in third fastest, and he's actually 4/10 behind Reese Dainty. John fourth, Tadpole second with their laps. Cam and Leo look like they're either on laps or starting one. We'll run on board with Cam. I believe he's starting one. DeChiller is 6th, and I believe there was someone else slotting in. That was Wavy Knife 11th. You know, Williams actually had Cam is 13th. That's a banker lap that he backed off on. But Williams actually had a good race back in Season 9 here, Egg. That chaotic race, George Up Williams got their best result of last game cycle. Yes. P5 right behind Beatnik, who was in contention for the podium. So Williams, coming off of, I believe, points last week or the week prior, definitely have some momentum toward their name as well.
Yeah, obviously that iconic P4, P5 for the Williams will never, ever be forgotten. I don't know if Samuel Drakeley and Wavy will be able to recreate it with the level of the grid we have nowadays, but possibly. Wavy Knife's going to have to really outperform himself and the car to get anywhere near P5. But we'll see what he can do.
He's looking for his first points in RPL F1 since Season 8. Texas tonight would be a good night to do that. He runs the Italian flag. He's not Italian, though, but it would be great to see. Leo Lund has invalidated. So right now, although he runs 15th, he is not safe. And that was an issue for him and Cam on their laps. Samuel Drake Lee as well. So invalidation's really kicking these drivers' butts, Egg. It is not helping them one bit. You would think, with them being the most experienced drivers in the highest tier, that they would not invalidate as much, but a lot of them have. Only 13 laps set with 6 minutes remaining.
Yeah. I think as Cam is coming across the line, and he's gonna. Oh, he's starting another lap. Okay, Cam's doing his race simulation. Cookie's on a lap. Okay,
Yes.
we'll go to Cookie, and he is up in the first sector, but it doesn't look overly really quick as he slides his way through turn 6 there. Or turn 7.
Well,
my bad.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of chicanes around the circuit. It's easy to invalidate through them.
This one in particular, he gets it all wrong. Going on the runoff. That one in particular is just absolutely awful in the race to get right every single lap. That's where I'd expect a lot of warnings and penalties to be picked up, as he nearly invalidates again going into the penultimate corner, out of the penultimate corner, and he pits.
This is not a fun time for some of these drivers. No. I can say that for sure. Kieran's on a lap.
Kieran is on a lap, and he's invalidated.
5 invalidates. Oh my goodness.
Cam's on a lap. 20 seconds up.
Yeah,
Here he
so
goes.
is Leo Lund. Let's focus on them. Cam, final few corners. The double left here. Cannot invalidate. He keeps himself away from that white line. Got to do so here as well. He does just that. Across the line now, the second Ferrari. Where will he set his sights in this session? He is 9th fastest. What matters, though, is he's safe. Leo Lund is off and invalidating again. Leo Lund on the back foot this week after his first time off the RPL podium. This is not a good start to his weekend at all. And he's off into the gravel.
Wowee. He's out of fuel as well, and he's clearly not very happy. He's going to pit and go out again at the end of the session, but he's only going to have, I'd imagine, 1 lap, maybe 2, to get himself not in the bottom, 2, effectively.
Yeah, right. Well, Metal will cross the line now. This will be his first lap. This could put Leo Lund out, and it does put Leo Lund out currently. Metal is in. Wow. C. Davies, starting a lap here for Kick Sauber.
Down the really curvy straight. The straightest, or the best overtaking spot into turn 1 here of the whole track. Pretty much the only overtaking spot. He's working his way through the curves. He's got is that a Mercedes or a Haas? A Haas getting out of the way, and now a Mercedes in the way, and that's the corner that scares me every time. He's on a purple first sector apparently. I don't believe it.
3 tenths up though.
Yes, he is. He's on a flyer. Can he get himself out of the last position of people who've actually set laps? Lewis Piper and Leo Lund are currently the people who are not safe, but I don't think that's going to stay the same.
Speaking of things not staying the same, Red Fire has made us aware that rain is in 10 minutes apparently, so you have to get your laps in here before it starts pissing it down in Q2. C. Davies, 14th right now as we stand, as you were saying. He is the full-time Tier 2 Mercedes Academy driver, but racing Tier 1 tonight. I believe it's his debut or maybe a second start, but either way, he's trying to make himself safe. He currently does not have a lap that would set him safe once everyone does set ones. Now across the line, he does go faster, but he's still slowest of them all, still out there though. That's the tricky part for him. Leo Lund back out on track.
I think if he backs off and then recharges the battery, he might get another one in. He started Australia, had wheel issues on lap 1, so retired. And he started in Miami and had wheel issues on lap 1 and retired. So there his Tier 1 race starts. And I only know that because I told him to get in the Williams both times. But actually, no, in Miami he went in the Merc because the chiller, decided to go to bed.
Metal has damage. He's spun on the curb, and as we were speaking about before, Egg, I think last week with the new updated curbs, they will catch people out, and it has caught Metal out. He has damage, will have to pit again, and who knows if he pits and gets another lap, and I don't think he might be able to. This is going to be close. Nip and tuck.
He is not going to get another lap in, and if he tries to stay out with rolling damage, he's not going to improve on his time. So he's in trouble.
Somehow cheats.
Yeah, probably is. Those Xbox hacks. Here goes Leo Lund. I think we should probably watch him as he starts his lap.
I agree. Just an FYI, before we cover this, John, Tadpole, Cookie, Kieran, TB, Minico, they all think they're safe. Those are why those guys are retired. The only guy out on track inside the top 10, Red Fire, Jack, and Reese. Here comes Leo Lund. He's got to keep it mistake-free. 2 through 4 was good, but now he's got 5 through 6. Take it away, Egg.
Here he goes. This is the tricky corner. Yeah, he can't invalidate on the outside. Oh, he was close. Into the hairpin now, Tosa down to third, accelerating out. Reece Dainty goes P1, scintillating from him as we go into the really quick left-hander here at the top of the hill. Downshifting to sixth, trying not to invalidate. He keeps it on the track into Aqua Minerali. This corner sucks on this game, and that all looked pretty tidy. This is going to be a good lap from Leoland, but as he goes purple and back into the chicane now. He keeps it on the track again. It's all that matters for him at this point. Trying not to invalidate again, because that would really... Well, he'd be out if he invalidated now. Into the final couple corners. These two corners also suck. He keeps it on the track, hitting the apexes, and he's going to come across the line, and I imagine he'll go fastest here.
Or maybe
Across
second.
the
We'll
line,
see.
that's unfair.
Yup. Wow. 7/10 ahead of the pack. And Reece Dainty, second fastest with that lap that he improved on now because of that. C. Davies on the bubble. Samuel Drake Lee hasn't validated, but he will have a chance to go once more. He just cannot invalidate his prep lap. Lewis Piper about to start a lap. He invalidated his out lap. These are the two drivers currently out in the bottom. C. Davies retires, maybe believing he's safe or just couldn't get another one in. We'll find out. Right now, though, Wavy Knife is into Q2.
I love it. He will be in Q2. He's nailed on Q2 now. So it's between it's between Medal, C. Davies, Samuel Drake Lee, and Lewis Piper. And Medal and C. Davies aren't out there. So can Samuel Drake Lee and Lewis Piper do anything here? As Samuel Drake Lee goes into turn one, that's looking... Oh, to the grass. That wasn't good. That looked yucky. Into the second chicane. Williams has negative front downforce, so not very quick. 24.2, I don't think that's very good.
Both of them haven't set laps yet, by the way.
Lewis Piper apparently went purple in the first sector. That's interesting.
Well, we have nothing to compare to with these guys so far, but we can compare them to their teammates who they're trying to basically... well, one of them can knock them out if both of them improve. C. Davies in the bubble. Piper, 50.3. Samuel Drake Lee, 50.1. It's looking better for Samuel. Got to keep it clean, though.
Oh, there's a car in the way for Samuel. Is this Jack? Jack's giving him a tow. Oh my god, oh, it's not Jack. It's Red Fire Tiger.
No, it's Red Fire.
Red Fire Tiger's giving him a tow into the final couple of corners. Lewis Piper's going to come across the line here first. Can he get into Q2?
Wow.
Hits the bollard for fun. Here he goes. He does. Samuel Drake Lee.
And they are both in. Metal is out. Davies is out. Both of them got in at the last moment. Williams get both cars into Q2 while both Saubers are out with the Haas joining them. 3 Ferrari Academy cars out in qualifying already. What a crazy end, Egg. They both improved.
Indeed.
And they both got in.
Second race in a row where both Willies are in Q2. I love it.
That is great for the Willies. Well, McLaren, Red Bull, Ferrari, the top 3, Leo, Reese, and Tadpole up there. Maybe looking for his first Tier 1 podium. He's never had one. Down in the bottom 5, Jake Bandy, Blonde, Robin. They had qualifying bans to serve. They're eliminated. C. Davies out on pace as well. Metal down there as well. 2/10 down on Wavy right there. He got beat by a Tier 2 full-time Williams driver, technically. So, yeah, really unfortunate for Metal, but he has his head held high, probably, with the F2 win he got earlier today. That's something to look forward to and be proud of, but definitely not the best of starts for tonight, Imola. But as always, it's just qualifying. The race is what matters with the results. Q2 we come for rain soon.
Please. Just like, I want rain to happen now, and everyone rushes out of the pit lane and tries to get a lap in. That's when it's interesting.
Hope it dries up for Q3, though.
Yes. I want to see Leo Lutton do a 12.1.
But I don't know if it will dry up based on what I saw when I looked on Cookie Stream, because it seemed like the rain will just continue to get worse, as we mentioned prior. Egg, we're in a Q2 now, and I figured I'd mention it. Do you know the last time you commentated an RPL Tier 1 race?
I think it was Season 5.
You would be incorrect. That is, you did commentate one though during that season, but the last time you commentated was back in Season 7 Baku, round 6 as well.
Oh yeah, I did that with Titan. That was fun.
And now you got another American near you.
There was about a million DNFs in that, I remember. And Wavy Knife.
Oh, everybody's
allowing it to wall
everybody's
on
going
purpose.
out.
Oh,
Everybody.
I think it might be about to raid. Oh my god. This is. Oh, it's gonna be a raid.
Yup.
Who's in the lead? Who's in the lead? Is it Leo?
This
Oh, it's John
is
John.
gonna be crazy.
John
is the first
ahead.
one. Everybody is out there, or at least getting out there now. Wavy and Tadpole, the last two in the queue. Get your predictions in for Q2, folks. We're going to have some upsets here, it looks like, by the people who might get eliminated. But we got Lennon in chat, Invade in chat, John in chat talking about it. He's a casual 1.1 seconds off his teammate. Invade talking about how John in tier 2 up there in the top 5. Titan was glad to have you there that day back in Baku. Yeah, I mean, it rained that race.
So
it's
cute.
raining and
Thanks,
qualifying
Titan.
at some point here. Yeah.
This is going to be interesting because it's,
It will.
as far as I can tell, it's a one-lap wonder, and the invalidations around here are crazy. So, John is going to be the first. I think we go on board with the tier 2 driver and see what he can cook up.
So, I just want to mention one thing before you mention this lap, by the way, Egg. If there's enough people to invalidate, let's say there is more than 5 drivers to invalidate. If there's one driver who gets another lap in after they invalidate a lap, that may be crucial if the rain is enough to slow these people down. John goes through 2, 3, 4. That's the first set of chicanes. That is called Tamburello. Now to Villeneuve, 5 and 6 here. A little bit of a wiggle for John, but that doesn't matter. He needs a clean lap, and he needs to get it in now. Turn 7, the hairpin. Tricky for the drivers, but it looks clean so far, Egg.
It does, and something else that doesn't look so clean. Reece Dainty is in the pit lane. I don't know what he's doing.
Ooh.
Someone else has spun. Minako's not going very quickly down the straight. Let's go back to John. Let's see what John's doing in Aquaminerali now. It's not raining yet, so it all looks fine so far. I can't see any invalidations either. Apart from Jack. Jack's invalidated.
Ooh. That will definitely help Reese, though, if it's not raining just yet. If it's going to rain in about maybe less than 3 or 5 minutes, though, that might be the worry for him. He needs it to hold off a little bit. John has 2 more corners to navigate. The final corner now, or at least the final braking zone, then this dip right here. You saw someone already hit the bollard. John avoids that, goes to the top, 14-4. And more cars to come. You got Taby going fastest. He's a previous winner around here, I believe. The McLaren of Leo Lund. What will it be for him? Top of the table. Is that Cookie backing off, I believe?
Is invalidated.
Yes, it is. He invalidated.
A lot of...
Leo Lund.
Oh, it's all mixed up as Cam goes P5, Ding into P2. And Cookie's going to have to go again here while his teammate is on his outlap. What is going on?
Look at the queue. Almost Cam and Cookie coming together right there. 8 cars have got times in, and they're all close. Cam in the runoff, I believe, just trying to get out of the way. This is how treacherous traffic is right now.
I still can't see any rain coming down across the cars. So Jack on his lap now, coming through the middle sector. Can Jack get any progress here? Can he get ahead of the bottom guys? Basically, he just needs to be up there, somewhere near the top, and he'll be fine.
Point I made, Egg. Only 8 drivers got in representative lap times, so it's not over just yet. Jack Miles, as you said now, 49.3 from Jack. This is good. He needs to keep this up. Aston Martin got P4 in this race 2 seasons ago. Jack actually got P4 himself in last season's race here around Imola in the Ferrari that time. This time he's in the Aston, and I'm sure he'll love this downforce into Sector 3 that he much needs. Across the line for Jack. He'll be the first one to try to improve on anything that others did. Jack, second fastest for him. Very good effort from the Aston. We got Tadpole, we got Cookie. Who else do we got who are setting laps? Cookie's going purple, it looks like. There's a Mercedes that's next. I think that's one getting out of the way. Lewis Piper invalidated. Not good from him. Wavy Knife is out there. He's invalidated. Cookie across the line. What will be now? What will it be from the driver who sat on pole last season at Imola but binned it? It was 6th place for Cookie here. Let's see, Tadpole into the pits. Reece Dainty was on a lap, but he went off.
No.
Oh
Reece
my
Dainty,
goodness.
what is going on? As we now have 11 drivers who have set a proper lap. Sammy Drake Lee is the only one to be in the relegation zone currently. Lewis Piper on a lap, Wavy on a lap, and it's raining.
There's rain. Yup. Reece
That,
Dainty needs to do the lap immediately because I think he still can get in as long as this rain does not hit hard enough. Lewis Piper on a lap, wiggling, struggling.
I think this is curtains for Reece Dainty. He could be P15 here. It depends. Lewis
Probably
Piper coming
P14
through the final
though.
sector.
Got
This will give
Tadpole's
us an
not on the lap as
indication.
well. Yeah,
Tadpole.
yeah, it really could be. We'll see. Tadpole,
Oh!
he invalidated. Lewis Piper's off!
Yeah, this looks undrivable.
This will still be valid, though. Will it be enough? I don't think so. It will not be. He is 12th. Wavy Knife may have just missed out. We'll see if he gets to the line. He's using Hot Lap and using everything he can in the tank.
Going through the final corner. He's just going to try and get a lap in as he goes across the line now. Can he beat Lewis Piper? I don't think he can, no. 16-6. So,
This rain is really affecting the drivers. Reece Dainty possibly out here in Q2. Tadpole looks to be out as well, but he's going back out on track to at least try something. You can't blame him. Red Fire retires. Kieran, that top 10, all less than 5/10, but I think the big upset into the next round of qualifying, maybe Minico for Alpine?
Yes. You'd expect that Alpine to be knocked out in Q2 every day of the week. So he's done a good job. He's got his lap in. He got his lap in when it counted in the dry, and he looks like he's safe. Considering Red Fire Tiger, who is currently 10th on the cusp of relegation, has retired because he doesn't think the track is going to dry up again. So I think this is curtains for Q2. I think it's all done. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. So if this is it, this will be the Q3 lineup. TB for V-Carb. He'll actually be one of 2 Red Bull Academy cars in. Jack, Leoland down in 3rd. DeChiller, John, Cookie. Minico, by the way, he's reserved now. He's in the Alpine for the event tonight. The way he started off the season, I think this would be a big accomplishment for him. Egg, and joining him would be Cam, Kieran back in Q3, and Red Fire Tiger.
Yes, as we have something going on down the main straight. Is it a toe? Why is he getting a toe? Oh, it's a house. Okay, probably why.
All right, then. Samuel Drake Lee, back out on track. He's in the bottom 5. He wants to improve out of that relegation zone, but it's going to be a big task for him. We'll see what the sector split is like and then call it from there. This track looks very wet, though, and it's looking undrivable for Samuel. But what's the difference here? It might not be a lot. It's a second, though, so yeah, never mind to that.
The one way to tell as a spectator if it's wet or not, if it's wet tyre conditions, is the little spots on the track. You can see them.
Yes.
That means it's inches, basically. And that's why everyone's struggling.
Well, I will say, although there was a car off there, that was Samuel. Samuel facing the wrong way. Yep. Samuel is done and dusted right there. Lewis Piper is well off. Oh my goodness, these conditions are treacherous for the drivers. One thing I will say, Egg, Reece Dainty and Tadpole, although they sit 14th and 15th, which one of them wants to start in the 7th row, which one of them doesn't? That's what this race will be for guys who are outside of that top 10 now.
Tadpole literally power slid his way out of the chicane there. That was impressive. As he comes through the final corner, this isn't going to be anywhere near the top guys as he pits.
Wow.
Okay, then.
Reece Dainty, 25.8, 4/10 worse than what Tadpole and Samuel Drake Lee were doing in that first sector. But if I'm Reece Dainty, I think my chances of beating Wavy, considering the car I'm in, would be there if I was out earlier in the session. DRS disabled now. This is the time. I think Reece Dainty will just be defending the fact that he wants to be P14 here. But this is a big disappointment. Him and Tadpole out of qualifying here. Although it is fair to say, people like TB and Minico, though, taking advantage of their disappointments.
Yes, I think really disappointed, like really disappointed with this. I think after the win, we all expected him.
In
he
Q1.
did well in Q1, he did well. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is it's just when it's conditions like this, it is just getting the lap in, getting the lap done, did like people like TB, Leo, John, Cookie all did, and yeah, they Reece do that, and now he's done a 22.5 because he bottled it.
Yeah. People talking about retire from the session, please. Talking about Kieran saying that too. The others still not retired. But I think Tadpole wants to go out on track and get another lap in here. But with the way I saw the percentage of rain at the end of Q3, which was 45 minutes into the session, whatever it was there, from Cookie's point of view on his stream, it showed it was above 80%. So I do think there is maybe a chance we go into Q3 and we see the first laps be the only laps that they do that are the best representative laps and the ones that are for pole at this point, because that's the rate we're going right now with how bad this track is getting and gonna get.
Maybe saying he got traffic on his lap and had to back off, I think. So
Samuel's spun in the section. Tadpole's going through now.
Yeah, Samuel's claiming he could have got into Q3 if he had a slightly better lap. He said he didn't push as hard as he could have.
Well, if he didn't push as hard as he could have, and he's only 7/10 off of TB, I know it was a race against time for these guys and a very quick session. That's not a bad lap from Samuel, though, considering how far back the Williams is meant to be. I must say, we'll talk about this for times to come with the V-Carbs, with what happened last week with Speed and TB, but I have to give TB massive credit around here. He had done a good time trial lap when practicing for this event, and he's first on the timing charts. Gonna lead us home with a massive win for him on the top of the table in Q2. That's for sure. He deserves a lot of credit from it, and especially after what happened last week too.
Indeed, and also don't count him out for Q3 because the V-Carb is stable, very stable, and in the wet you need stability. So you can push it pretty hard, and well, as long as you trust the car, it won't give up on you, and you might be able to get near the top end of the table. Tadpole,
what
is he doing?
Out on track. Let's see how bad this is, though, because this is exactly what it's going to be for Q3. By the way, for those of you wondering, Titan, I know you asked this in chat. Whoa, that was close. Tadpole, big slide, but bigger slide. I was going to say it is a completely dry race, though. But these are the type of conditions we will be getting for Q3, by the way. So let's ride on board with Tadpole and see what he does through here. How bad is it for the drivers? It looks pretty bad. It looks really slow, and this is going to be quite an interesting run for pole then if this is what the conditions are, because Leo Lund is going out and on a lap and trying to get used to it.
Yeah, smart, to be honest.
But you don't want to risk it, though, if you crash.
Well, I think Leo Lund probably trusts his own ability not to crash it.
True.
He's trying to get his eye in, so he has effectively 3 Q3 runs because he would have had this banker. It's not a banker, but it's just an idea of what's to expect, and it's a good idea. Everyone else retiring because they can't be bothered. Reese is now going to go out on inters and try and beat his soft lap. I don't know what this fella's doing, but anyway, Tadpole went slower than Reese on inters, and yeah,
that's what the difference is like. Leo Lund 6 seconds down and invalidating the lap time. So here is your official Q3 lineup based on the fastest of the session and the 10th fastest of the session. The fake TB for V-Carb. It was actually his first time in Q3 of the season last week in Miami. Now he's on the top of the table as Leo Lund kicks up some gravel and kitty litter. Jack Miles, second fastest for Aston Martin. He seems to always go well in the wet, and he has once again. Leo Lund third. He's got pole position the most of anybody this season. De Chiller for Mercedes. Whole race for him. How about that? Fair play to him. He deserves this, especially after missing out last week. He was supposed to be late. John, second Tier 1 appearance, I believe. He's in for McLaren. Big call-up for him. Cookie, pole position in this race last season. That had a wheel failure in the first half of the race. Actually, the second lap it was. Tadpole retires. Reese might be doing so soon, too. He's down on the time. Got Minico in for Alpine as a reserve. Cam for Ferrari. He gets the chance to do what he didn't do in Miami. Kieran is in for Mercedes. He raced last time here for Alpine. I don't ever think he's had a Tier 1 podium. He's had a 4th place before, though. And Red Fire Tiger. I think it's safe to say here, although he's in Tier 2 full-time in this car, Egg, he's on definitely a revenge tour here for maybe a chance back at Tier 1. He definitely has the pace, but he's not had the results, and we've seen that a lot with Red Fire because he only has 4 podiums when he's had multiple chances to do just that.
Yeah, Red Fire Tiger is a inconsistent but overall quick driver. I think he's good at this track as well. So we'll see what we can do. Reece Dainty, before he invalidated, it told me he was purple in the middle sector, so I don't know what's going on. But
Well,
he comes
what
across
would
the
have
line.
been better? We'll find out. No.
I don't think so.
Nope. Well, after signing a contract, Reece Dainty is out of qualifying. 14th, relegation zone. Goodbye until the race. Well, the fake TB, Jack Miles, Leo Lund make up our top 3. 4 different teams in that top 4. And a lot of different teams actually in Q3. One of them that will not be partaking in Q3 that had both cars eliminated was Williams. Samuel Drake Lee, Wavy Knife out. Lewis Piper joins him. Tadpole as well. Wavy Knife out as well. And the only Ferrari Academy car into the next round of qualifying is Cam.
Yes, it is very close in that session. Top 10, half a second. Just less than half a second. So,
I know you
looking
debated this with me a few weeks ago after I believe Saudi, you know, about Cam, Minico, which one's better and everything like that. I think they're proving both for themselves some arguments to be made, but I think Cam has actually been on a really good run recently, and he deserves the credit for it. Last season, he ended up 1 penalty point away from a season ban. That's what Cookie did before he won the championship. Ooh. And yeah, it's covered in wetness. But yeah, with Cam, yeah. Well, Minico had a good session, but really with the way he's been running the last few weeks, Cam deserves the credit. His second podium, second time on there at Reese as well. Cam has been really good, and he needs the credit for it. He deserves this Ferrari tonight.
Yeah, Cam's been good in Miami. Got into Q3 today, unlike his teammate, and Minico also in Q3. Despite having a really shaky start to the game, getting pummeled by Leo Lund, and then went to reserve. Now he's driving the Alpine every week. So yeah, both good drivers. Cam is a crash merchant. No, I'm joking. Both of them are good drivers, and yeah, we'll see what they can do now, as they're all going out.
All right, get your poll predictions underway, folks, for Q3 in the Twitch chat. I don't think we can have any chance of predicting any sort of times here for the session, but I think it's safe to say, though, we could predict the top 3. I'm going to go with Leo Lund on pole. I'm going to say second. This is tough. This is a wide open session with some of these guys out and some of the main drivers not in. I'm going to say Cookie second. And then third, we're going to say it's a toss-up between a few drivers here. I don't know who I'm going to say for third, but it's a toss-up between TB, Jack, John, Cam, and maybe even Kieran. Any of those guys can take it. That's for sure.
I think my top 3 is going to be... I'm going to go Rogue. I think it's going to be a Ding masterclass.
Ooh. Yeah, I can't forget about him. Yeah.
I think true. Ding, Leo, Jack, TB will be my top 4. We'll go with that.
Well, we'll watch laps in just a moment in time, but just want to remind people, though, since there are some cars in the session who've either never taken pole or haven't in a while. Aston haven't taken pole in a season. It was a wet session in Singapore they did. The fake TB, he's trying to get V-Carb's first pole. Their best starting spot is second. And for Alpine, they only have 1 pole prior. That was Canada, season 7. That was in the first half of the season. Maybe they can do just that this time around. John starts the first laps here, and he's down into turn 1 now. The McLaren/Alpine Academy have 3 cars in the session, so very big for them. If this was a dry session, they could give each other toes. But right now, no toes for this session. John, now, just sending it into turn 5 and 6, down to the hairpin now. A little bit conservative on the exit of that corner, but you don't want to lose it. We know that because, well, the conditions are getting worse, Egg, and as he comes out of now the hairpin, a little slide from John, but now, this corner, one of the things I've not talked about yet, besides track limits, is don't clip the grass here. If you clip the grass, you go spinning around. John has done a very good job of that, and as he gets down here to one of your favorite sections, we'll see what ends up happening.
Ooh, that's invalid.
Ooh, yeah,
you could see it, he just locked the front brakes, and that was, he just slid off the track, front end slid off the track. So he's going to have to go again. I imagine he's shielded up for more than 1 run.
Oh, the chiller! Invalidates, and he's off as well.
See what I think
He's-
Kieran's backed off as well. See what Jack's doing. Jack's bumping his way over the curbs. I think it'll be the first set lap, or will it be John? No, John involved. So I think Jack will be the first.
Minico.
Oh,
Minico.
Minico will be the first.
Yes.
Here he
This
goes.
Alpine is good in these conditions. NRM KVS made an upset in Q3 last week, and even in the race, Minico sets the benchmark. Next up is Red Fire. Red Fire is coming next, and he's coming quick to the line.
Yes,
23-1. He goes fastest. Jack Miles next up with the Red Bulls. TB, second fastest. Jack Miles puts it on provisional pole. Can Kieran do the same now as he crosses the line? Kieran is only fifth. He made a mistake on the lap. Cookie goes pole. He did that in Spa on a wet qualifying. Leo London validated. Cam invalidated. John's going for another, and so is the Chiller. But right now, Cookie on top.
My prediction is in tatters. Ding is having a shocker out there. Oh no, Ding! What are you doing? Oh no!
Ooh, invalidated again.
He's going to have to back. I can imagine what it's like being in his party right now. It's a lot of things we can't say on Twitch.
Italian and German swear words, maybe.
Yeah.
John.
Oh God.
He already has some excitement from this weekend. Egg, sorry to cut in. I was just going to say with John, he has the Tier 2 victory. That was in a wet race yesterday, actually, at Silverstone. Maybe these conditions will help the wheel driver, the American, the reserve, the Tier 2 driver. Crossing the line now. Will it be pole for McLaren? Ooh. It will just be the front row.
Very good effort, though. Just over a tenth off the previous Tier 1 champion. Leo Lund is cooking.
The current championship leader. Heading into the chicane now with a few more corners to navigate. What will it be for Leo? He already has a few poles to his name this season. Why not add another one? It would be great to do so in the wet. Something he's not really got used to too much in RPL F1. But pole in Saudi, pole in Australia, pole already. Last few weeks, will it be another one across the line now? It is pole. Leo Lund, 21.6, 7/10 clear.
Cam is going to go P2, by the way, I think. Cam's on a good lap as well.
Will he do it?
He was 1 million miles off Leo. Here he goes.
Cross the line. Cam, third.
Oh!
Ties? Cookie's time. It's even.
That is
wow.
That is some George Russell and Max Verstappen Canada moment. Right there. As Minico's on another one, I think. I'm pretty sure he's on another lap here. Or maybe he's going to, I don't know what he's doing.
Well, no, he's 9/10 up, though. I mean, he's not really good on the ERS. Oh. Well. That will hinder him when he crosses the line. But either way, Minico does come across now. How much better will it be for the Canadian? 8th fastest, not bad at all, I will say. Especially considering the car he's in. This is exactly what he should be doing. And like you said, he had a poor start to the season. He's definitely proving as a reserve that he can be a bit more relaxed and do better. TB! Pole for V-Carb right now! That'll be their first if he remains there.
I believe the track is getting better. I hope it is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. John's up on his time. John's going quicker in Sector 1. Right.
Wow. This is going to be a big session if it's the last man out there and getting a lap in. We've seen this happen before. It happened in Spa last season. Egg, you remember that session quite well.
Yeah. I was in the Williams. I went out on wets on inters at the end. That wasn't smart.
Yeah. But, by the way, for those of you wondering, Leo Lund is looking for a 5th consecutive pole. John coming through the sector looking quite nice right there as he goes purple. Overtaking Gaged for just a moment as well.
I think he's about to go P1. The track is ramping up, even though the weather's not getting any better. And it's because the cars basically suction all the water out of the way and create a dry line. Here he comes, across the line. P1!
John sees his moment at the top. He goes to provisional pole. TB is on a backed off lap. Minico is currently on a backed off lap as well. Jack Miles. Is it fair to call him a master in the wet? I think he is. He starts a lap. He got P2 or P3, I believe, in Portimao in a wet qualifying session last season. He also ends up always being just there no matter the car he is in. It was this race last season. He just missed out on the victory in the Red Bull in the wet race. But right now, Jack is bettering himself by 4/10. He needs more if he wants to go to pole, but I'm sure he's got more chances to do just that, Egg.
Yes, I think Jack isn't as good on the wet in this game because the way you drive in the wet now has changed slightly. But yeah, Jack has always been good in the wet, and hopefully he can get something here into probably the toughest corner on the track. He keeps it all nice and tidy. Into the chicane now. This is going to be scintillating. Purple
That has to
in
be
the middle
capped.
sector.
Wow, that is crazy from Jack, getting 9/10 up on the timing charts right now in the second sector, now boosting, using his battery. Now, as 3 minutes remain, will Jack Miles get himself up there with the extra mile? 2 more corners to go. 1 braking zone, 1 dip to the right. Jack Miles has not seen a pole since season 8, and right now, he's only 3rd.
Disappointing. Who else we got? We've got
Kieran, starts one.
Kieran.
He's never had a pole either, Egg.
Indeed, he has never. He's had a few podiums though. I think he got one of the Alpine or something.
One
ages
fourth
ago.
place for Alpine.
Oh, my bad. Nearly.
That's okay.
Can he get in today?
Well, it would be a tough task, but it'd be a great one to do so. He's in a better car than the Alpine a few games ago. Up right now by 3/10 for Kieran. He's slowest of them all. Of the guys who've ran laps, we'll keep switching through drivers as we go, but he's got traffic to navigate. He's got to get by these guys, and if he doesn't, this is going to be treacherous for his lap because he'll only have one more go at this if that's the case. Ooh, TB goes wide. Kieran slides off almost.
He touched the grass on entry, and that really did not help him. That should have been invalid. What is this game?
Yeah, I don't know how that's valid still. That is insane. Kieran is still up, 6/10 of the chart.
It's not going to be enough for the top spots, but can he get himself up the order a bit? As Cam's also on a lap behind him, but go back to Kieran, final couple corners. He's got Ding just sat in his way here. This is not good, bud. What are you doing, Darius? The chiller. What are you doing?
Kieran, maybe giving him a slipstream to start the lap. What will happen here across the line for Kieran? What will the time be? He is 5th fastest. Not bad, but I'm sure he's going to want to go for another one. He will need a really zoomy out lap here to go for another one. Cookie, I believe, or TB, either one of them, starting a lap. We got an Aston coming through. That is Jack Miles starting a lap. We have Cookie starting a lap. We have an Aston in the background. Red Fire invalidating and starting a lap. That's a McLaren or Alpine maybe off. Cam backing off to start a lap. McLaren have Leo Lund starting a lap. Minico starting a lap. Who is on a lap here?
TB is a quarter of a second up.
Yes. Can this be the first pole position for VCarb? They've only ever had one front row to their name that came back in Canada. That was with Oxtez in Season 3. But right now, TB, the Season 8 champion, can pull off a miracle. The only problem for TB, though, Egg, is he's not going to be the last one to start a lap. 2/10 up still. He's got traffic, though. Ooh.
He's still up. Jack is up through the first sector. Leo Lund starting his lap now. I'll see what he does in the first sector as you go to TB. Oh, God.
Still.
Okay, might be over.
That Mercedes will get to the line, by the way. They'll set a lap, or at least start a lap. That is the chiller. Checker flag is waving. Across the line now for TB. Provisional pole for VCarb. That would be incredible if they hang on. Kieran is out. Now, the Astons, Red Fire invalidated. Jack is up by a 10th. He has not had a pole since Season 8. And can Jack do just that?
Jack!
Yes, Jack to pole. Just barely as well. Cookie across the line. Keeping it clean, it looks like. But he's only 5th. Wow. Red Fire, he invalidated. Cam invalidated. Leo Lund did not invalidate, so now it's down to the McLarens. Can they steal the upset from Jack and TB on the front row? Leo Lund crosses now. Pole! 5 consecutive.
What can John do? Can he make it a front row lockout for the McLarens? Here he goes. Going through the final corner. Across the line he'll go. Will it be 1-2 for McLaren like today in Hungary? No.
And the chiller invalidated. He made a mistake. He would have been the last one to cross the line, but Leo Lund makes it 5 consecutive pole positions. And that's the most McLaren have got consecutively, but Leo Lund does it by 7/10 over Jack Miles for Aston and TB for VCarb. What a grid we have. Minico, good shout out for 6th as well.
Well done, Minico, and well done to the TB as well in the VCarb. P3, only a handful of milliseconds off of P2. Leo Lund, obviously, well, it's a different league in quali especially. But Ding is driving. He's having a Sunday drive in the final sector. I'm going to go and grab a drink.
Sounds good, but here is your grid ahead of the event tonight. Leo Lund, Jack Miles, the fake TB, John Cookie down in 5th. That's a bit of a shocker, I would say. He seems to be usually well in the wet. Minico ahead of Kieran, Cam, Redfire. I mean, some big upsets there. To Chiller back in 10th place with the emojis, and I'm sure his emojis will not be happy ones after that qualifying session that he had. Well, fellas, was your pole predictions right? Was your top 3 right? That is going to be the question that you ask yourself in the Twitch chat. But Leo Lund is in a different league, and yeah, he gets to put his hands on his head right there and over his ears. Let's hear it for him on the top of the table once again. 5th consecutive pole for Leo, and you know what? Really setting himself quite clear on the pack regardless of what happens each week. Jack Miles, he's got to get a good start. He is 2nd for Aston. Maybe a big run down to turn 1. John there for the teammate. VCarb getting their best start in many seasons. TB is right there. Minico for Alpine, a good shout out once again. I think a bit of a disappointment from Mercedes though. I think they expected a bit different. But for the event tonight though, expect, I believe, what is it, medium hard, soft medium? I'm not sure what the strategy is. I would have to
medium
check
hard.
back on my tier 3 race that I did here.
Medium hard, medium.
Yeah. Let me just double check that just to be 100%. You don't want to not be 100%. I'm going to check now. Just check if you can for me. Egg, do we have formation lap on?
Rules and flags. Yes.
All right. So yeah, in the tier 3 race, it was medium hard here, or hard medium. I don't expect many people to go to the soft tires. The soft tires really do wear a lot around here. But if there is a late safety car, it can happen. But Egg, before we get to the formation lap, lots of classic moments we've had here throughout all tiers. JTK in a wet race in tier 2 got his first win here. And clinched the championship that day. We had an AlphaTauri and a Haas on the podium at the time in tier 2 a few seasons prior to that. It was Polo and Sam behind George that day in Season 9 Tier 2. Wavy got his first podium here before, and is only in F1 cars that he had in Tier 2. F2 has had some thrillers as well, to say the least here. Some wet races, some dry races, some moments Minico will be happy to share in the future. And for F1, Crashgate, a wet race in Season 8 and 9. Season 9 to Chiller's last win, Korsman's last win. Last season, though, a race between 4 guys for the victory. Do we see the same here? And any moments you can think of that are classic around the circuit?
I think we will see a good race. I think Leolam might gap early on, especially since it's not the quickest car on the grid right behind him. It's Jack Miles in an Aston. So Leolam might be able to gap pretty much straight away. But classic moments, I think you listed them all. Crashgate was also my first podium in Tier 1.
W's last win as well.
It was. He beat me by 3 milliseconds. Not on time, but he had a penalty. So, yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, it was that was a good race. And, yeah, loads of iconic RPL moments around here. I think the best is George's P5, though.
All right, so Leo Lund starts on mediums. Jack is on softs. Everybody till 6th place behind Jack is on the mediums. Hearts for Kieran, hearts for Redfire, Samuel, Reese, Metal, Blonde, and then everyone else on either of the mediums or softs. So that's what will happen there with our tires. Gagi giving his predictions in the chat. Please do so if you haven't already for the event. But a quick look at the championship standings before we talk about lap 1, turn 2. Also, at a previous start here, I believe it was season 5, we saw 4 wide into turn 1. It did not work out. F1 driver re-entering the track very poorly and caused a collision that day, I remember. I was engineering him in Polo that day. But either way, McLaren lead the Constructors' Championship into this race by 17 points. They have both cars 1 and 4. Ferrari, they're on the back foot. They're 17 points behind Red Bull and Aston, 3rd and 4th. And by the way, VCarb, after Speed's whole situation, put down to 7th in the championship. 37 points gap in the championship egg, but how crucial is this for Jack to get to Leo Lund at turn 2?
If Jack can get the grip off the line with the soft tyre and gets into the lead, it would really spice up the race. He's got the better line as well, being straight on the grid instead of Leo Lund being turning left off the grid. Turning right, sorry.
So we have a horrible camera angle, but we're going to look at this from Cookie's point of view, maybe TB's point of view. Waiting for the 5 red lights. Everybody lined up in the grid slot. We have a DSQ from Jake Bandy and Kieran. Blonde, by the way, our 19th runner in for Alpine as an FYI. But yeah, we're waiting on 5 red lights. They're not coming in just yet. I think we're waiting on either someone to leave the session due to poor connection. But everyone's saying war a game. Minico said war a game. Leo Lund wondering why there's a formation lap. Minico saying this is why we have no formation lap usually. But yeah, we might be getting a restart if this continues, but we're going to wait out maybe another 30 seconds probably, I'm going to guess.
Great.
Maybe Blonde? Maybe Blonde being the one.
Adding to the excitement, I'm going to get a picture of the grid.
Yeah, that'd be great. Oh, here we go.
Oh, something just happened.
Blonde retired from the session after he left. It says Kieran is DNF'd on their screens. He needs to press the Xbox button, and he said he already has. It does not work. So if we're getting a restart here, this will be horrible for some of these guys who were really wanting to get down to turn 2. I mean, Jack knows. I mean, Jack kind of has his strategy exposed already, with that being said.
Yes, that is a shame for Jack.
That really is.
Blonde has rejoined just to watch
will that
the
do
grid.
Anything? Yeah, it will not do anything. We are restarting the event. We are restarting, not the full event, but the race itself. So we will be getting a restart here. Give us about 5 to 10 minutes, and we will get the lobby set up and everything. I just want to see if it does give 5 red lights, even with people leaving at any point. Because how glitched is Formation Lap this game? It's kind of why we haven't ran it.
It was glitched at the start, then they fixed it, and then it's glitched again, clearly.
Remember, there's another update coming to the game on Monday, so we can only hope it's fixed, but that'd be a bit of false hope, I would say.
I didn't see it in the patch notes, to be honest.
Yeah.
I blame Reese. This is all Reese's fault.
They break something every time they fix the game.
What is going on?
Okay.
I've just got to...
I just want to say... So it took Jack leaving to do it. Okay. Well, we're still getting a restart, but I just want to say... I was going to say, there's only 3 people in the session. Though. Whoever the 3 people were that were in the session...
Cookie, Red Fire's here, and one other.
Metal.
Metal.
That would be quite a great podium for this race. That would be quite a chaotic one.
Red Fire Tiger's got a 10-second penalty.
He's up just for those...
He's Cookie.
For those of you joining in just now, we're getting a restart to the race. We already did qualifying. We'll get the grid order. But, yeah, we had a glitch formation lap, so that's why we're going to be late on this one.
Cookie's in the lead. What a start. Anyway, I'm going to restart my game. So yeah.
I'll make sure I get you an invite to the new lobby.
Yes.
Just a reminder, though, on so far races this season, we can go over this now with there being a bit of a pause before we start. Bahrain went to Leo Lund in the McLaren. He had a dominant victory over Egg in the Ferrari. I'm glad to have you here, Egg, to talk about that if you ever All right. Hopefully my mic is working. It is now. I don't know what happened. It cut out, but we were talking about the first few rounds of the season. Round 2, yes, Minico. That was the one where he went flying in the air, airborne, caught flight. Like I said, the Rocket League memes that were created from that one, of course. Podium for that day, Leo Gecko, the same podium as round 1. But same podium happened in round 3 after Speed got disqualified from Australia. Leo Lon Gecko and Egg the podium. That race, I think it had a VSC, I believe. But
Not sure. Maybe. I think
Japan
yeah,
had
it
safety
did, yeah.
cars. Japan had safety cars, I know that for sure. The podium there that day, Cookie got a podium. Trying to remember who was second and third now. I don't have it on me. Second and third that day was Leo and Jack. Jack for Aston getting what he called his monthly podium. He was out in Q1 that day and gone from 16th to 3rd. Redfire was 4th. TB was 5th that day. And that was Williams' first points of the season, I believe, if I'm correct. Yes, it was. Or no, that was their second points of the season. I think their first came in Jeddah. Yes, Sam Gino for the reserve. Miami last week, full of safety cars, full of chaos. It was Reese Dainty taking another win. And you know what? I have to give Reese credit. Although he's not the most consistent driver, he always seems to do at least what the cars should. Maybe not as much recently up until Miami, but for Reese's case, though, he has now won in 5 consecutive seasons and 6 seasons as a whole. Last week, he beat Cam at the line and on penalties out of KVS, who was 3rd for Alpine. And again, best of the rest. Zakaria, by the way, was 6th in that race. Minico, 7th. Some good shout-outs we didn't mention a whole lot from last week's race, though, Egg. But, yeah, KVS, I think he's been the star of the midfield in that Alpine, to say the least, so far this season. Even when he's raced, it's not been a lot, but there you go. I mean, he has been the guy to look out for sure. And I think we're just waiting on Chiller. Chiller.
He's probably running away from the FBI or something.
Well, I would not be surprised.
Yes. Take 2 of trying to start this race.
I'm gonna guess we're gonna have no formation lap on this time. I think you can figure that
Really?
one out
I'll
with me.
check. I'll check.
I invited the Chiller, by the way.
We do not have formation lab on. Good.
Okay, you said I went all robotic. I did fix my mic when that happened. Nice one, Titan.
Yeah.
I can see the comments still. Yeah, I know. I had to fix it. It didn't show any overlay. I don't know why, but yeah. Tadpole saying to Reese Dainty, now I know what it's like to be Reese. And he was talking about how it was crazy to race each other for P14. But yeah, now we got a race on our hands for all positions here once we get going. We should be getting going once the grid is set. The Chiller is in here. Jack Miles will be finalizing the grid. Probably one of the quickest restarts we've had in quite a bit. 5 minutes here. And then we'll get readied up once the grid is going. I mean, everyone knows the strategy now from what Jack will go, but will anybody go the same? Are they going to go ballsy as well? I'm interested to see if that does happen, because we know, Egg, from previous precedent on this game, the hards do go quite a bit. They don't wear a lot. So if we get the same dry race we got and everything else and everything we had with it, maybe we get a change in strategies from the first get-go.
I'm interested to see if people will copy Jack's soft move. I'm not sure. I think most people will stay on the mediums and hards because they are better.
Yes, so Jack Miles readies up, and that is the indication for everybody to join him and ready up as well. Wavy talking about the man responsible for this restart is Blugagi, but yeah, I mean...
I think that was me, actually.
Maybe, I don't know. Well, predictions. Wavy says him P1, Jack P2, Tadpole P2, and Leolund dies. Well, that's a bit harsh, but yeah, well, we'll find out what ends up happening in this race. Alpine Academy crumbles, he says. All right, well, we do have predictions in chat. Egg, do you have any of your own for turn 1, lap 1, turn 2, lap 1 this time, while I quickly go AFK before the start?
My prediction is that Leoland will be overtaken by Jack. Jack will lead the first lap. That's my prediction. As I think Ryan has gone, so I will waffle my way until he's back. Um, yes. Jack has said if any people ready up before the host, the penalty is double because that's happened a few times recently, and there's been announcements about it, and it's starting to get a bit out of hand. So yes, he's not happy, and he's put it in all caps to show he's not happy. How many people are watching? I'm waffling at this point. 11. Hmm. Titan says Leo, Jack, top 2. Cookie
Oh,
P3 with a
I'm
last
back.
lap brawl. Interesting.
Ooh. That would be interesting indeed. I'm going to look at the drivers' streams quickly, therefore we can see how long it is till the countdown. But speaking of things, though, I just want to remind everybody, some of the drivers not in here tonight, you got Josh, one of them, and there's others as well who've not been here this weekend for the reason that some are partaking in the 24 hours of Spa on iRacing. Some, like Luke Range, our league owner, we wish them the best of luck. Even our past drivers as well. With that being said, championship standings, quick reminder. Leo, Cookie, Gecko, that's our top 3. Jack, 50 points behind Leo. If something happens here where Leo DNFs and Jack wins, that is a 25-point gap. So just keep that in mind, especially based on what we saw with the strategy so far. I could see Reese Dainty as well, making setup changes. The drivers have to remember, get in your setups, do everything you can before the lights out. Fuel as well is a big thing. Adjust your fuel. You know maybe a bit more now than you did before having a formation lap. Previously, compared to now, what to do with fuel if you didn't have enough practice with that. But no one reading up just yet from the looks of things. Completely dry race, medium hard, hard medium, maybe soft hard from what we're seeing prior. 25 seconds till lights out. But just a quick reminder, Egg, we've got some races next weekend that are in the same type of region. Tier 3, F2, both in Texas, Tier 2 in Hungary, and for the next 4 weeks, we'll be at these 4 tracks for F1. Canada, Spain, Austria, and Britain. 10 seconds.
Evade Matt is claiming Wavy is going to be in the lead turn 1 after everyone dies.
Oh.
So
All
that's
right.
a bold prediction.
Well, time for the 5 red lights for the Grand Prix in Imola. We are about to kickstart round 6 of the season. The lights out. Away we go. Leo Lund off the line, side by side with Jack. He's still in the medium tires. Jack on the softs. Will Jack get the better of him down to turn 2? Heavy braking here. Jack does not go for it. Everybody keeping behaved down to 5th. But spin. Aston around. That's red fire. The Chillard on the order as well. That's going to allow both Williams to take advantage, but now Jack and TB are trying to get to our leader. Leo Lund will be pressurized if Jack Miles can keep up the pace, but issue for Reese Dainty as well. He fell back. He's down to 18th. It's a nightmare start. He needed to gain places. Contact!
Metal and Reese Dainty came together in the hairpin, and now they're ghosting inside of each other. Reese will go for the move here, up into turn 7 and gets it done. Leo Lund holds the lead at the start. Jack Miles on his tail, and then TB a bit less on Jack's tail. John right in TB's caboose, though, so this could be interesting.
We have a swap. It's both Mercedes. Lewis Piper falling down the order. What has happened to him? A spin! Jake Bandy got tapped. Lewis Piper may be letting some cars go, but Reese Dainty went from 14th to 18th, and now, I mean, he only gained 2 spots from what he was at with 20th, but we look at our spots gained here. Biggest winner, Robin, up 5 places. Maybe having a bit of revenge from earlier today in F2 with the controversy?
Yes, he's made up some positions on the mediums, up into P13, right behind the 2 Williams.
Oh!
Tadpole making
Big
a move.
moment. Leo in the lead. He lost it. 3/10 now the gap. Sorry to cut in.
Tadpole made a move down the straight on his academy teammate. He's going to hunt down the points positions now. Starting with the 2
He needs
Williams.
that DRS as
Yeah,
well.
Yes.
It is enabled. Only place to get that rear wing open and gain some extra speed is that main straight there from the little dip of the last corner all the way down to turn 2. But Jack Miles is there on Leo. He's putting the pressure on him. We got to see if he can hold this, though.
TB has been gapped in P3. Jack has gapped him. And Jack is really close to the back of Leo Lund here.
Yeah, so Jack 5/10 within Leo. Samuel Drake Lee running 11th. Picks up the first track limit penalty of this race. That will definitely not be the last either, Egg. We're going to see a lot of them tonight.
First track limit penalty, and well, I think it's going to be a track limit penalty to decide the race. Can Jack go for a move here? He's in none though, so he clearly doesn't want to. John up into the podium spots.
Cookie too. Cookie fourth. He gets the move done there. Fair play for Cookie getting the Academy teammate. Now he's got to go run with it, and they can maybe try to catch Jack and Leo together. 1.1.
Samuel Drake Lee hanging on to Kieran and Red Fire. Oh, Kieran's off, and Samuel Drake Lee will go for the move here. On the outside,
and he does complete the move.
Points. Well done.
Wow. Hey, he was someone from your league, Egg, when we merged with your league with RPL. He is doing a fair job tonight so far, besides a track limit penalty.
Well done to him, as Cookie goes off onto the escape road, the runoff, and that loses him a bit of time. And Jack has fallen off the back of Leo a bit now. He really is happy to burn his battery to stay with him.
Yeah. It's
maybe
not ideal.
Soft to dead, possibly. Not dead yet, but they are dying in the next few laps.
Well, if he does pit for the hards at a good time, he will get an undercut on Leo, but he will not have the advantage pace-wise. Leo Lund sets a fastest lap on lap 3. John has Cookie behind for company. Cookie is coming quick. Now, will he get there in time? No, he won't. Behind that, Kieran trying to re-overtake Samuel Drake Lee, and he will do just that into turn 1. Kieran is through, up into 10th, and a lot of movement further on back. Reese Dainty up to 15th. Tadpole trying to make a move on Wavy, and almost a collision.
Tadpole is getting caught up in place. He doesn't want to be here. He wants to be ahead of these guys, but he can't be impatient. He can't go for silly moves and ruin his race again. So he needs to buy his time. He's quicker than Wavy. He's got a quicker car than Wavy.
Oh!
He just needs to chill.
Yeah, Robin as well, almost hitting the back of his Academy teammate. I was just going to say, Tadpole and Reese were already on the back foot. It doesn't help that Reese fell down there again, of course, after the opening lap, but you know, he's now on the comeback drive. Tadpole as well. The same could be said for him, getting the opportunity for Ferrari tonight. But now the gap for the lead is 1.7. Are the softs just that bad, or is Leo just in his own league right now as Red Fire becomes the third different driver to pick up a penalty?
Jack has definitely been gapped. John might actually just about get DRS here. I don't think he will. No, he doesn't. But yeah, Jack's softs starting to explode as we start lap 5.
Cookie on the move. He takes over third over John. Behind that, DeChiller is on Red Fire. DeChiller in his home race gets the place. Tadpole also gets the place for 12th. Reese Dainty as well has overtaken Wavy, and so is Robin. Wavy gets down 3 places from all that. What a big skirmish there, and a big moment from Robin, almost losing it there out of turn 4. Wavy will be there to pounce.
Wavy hitting the back of him into the second chicane. And Reese Dainty now right behind Tadpole, and they have a bit of catching up to do to get to Samuel Drake Lee in P11.
Yeah. This is going to be definitely a race where you want to stay within DRS. Jack has not done that on Leo, but Cookie has got there on Jack after he just overtook John. This will be a big race for the front of the field, but you got to be careful in this whole exchange here that they have. Red Fire behind DeChiller, by the way, still. This is for the 8th and 9th place spots, while outside the points, that is Robin getting a penalty, and that's also DeChiller getting a penalty. 6 track limit penalties, not even 6 laps in.
Leo Lund has 2 track limit warnings as well.
Well then, this will be that kind of race. Cookie on the move for second. Jack pulls over, and Cookie is through. John's through. Now will TB go through? They all do. Now, John to the outside of Cookie. Cookie breaks later and stays ahead. Reese gets Tadpole 2 for 12th.
You still have Minico hanging on to the back of this as well. Maybe he can try and sniff out overtake on a...
Whoa! TB had a look on John right there. That could have ended in tears.
Squawking around.
Here you go.
Yeah, I had to put one in. It's all settling down a bit. We have still this major trainer's yellow flag, and that's a safety car.
Jake Bandy has crashed. That's down at turns 6 and 7, and surely they will. But I'll tell you this right now, this is going to change the outcome for those guys on hards. They did not want this, Egg.
No, they didn't at all. I don't think they will pit. Everyone in the top 7 will pit, especially Jack. Jack is literally begging for this safety car,
Hmm.
and he's very happy with it, I imagine. I think it'll be a one onto the hards now, and they should be able to get to the end. I think everybody pits now. I imagine.
Let's make sure everybody stays within the white lines as well. By the way, that's been
Yeah,
a big
Don's
thing
in.
that's been talked about recently.
John's going to lose out here. He's got a double stack with his teammate. That'll lose him a bit of time.
Red Fire stays out. The Chiller is in. Kieran stays out. Reese stays out. Tadpole is in, even though he's on the hards.
Oh, yeah, John lost a lot of time there. He's fallen behind Jack and TB. Just ahead of Nico.
Yeah, not vital to their races. But one driver out, if you're just joining us, it's Jake Bandy. He got pole here in the Tier 3 race, but in the Tier 1 race, it has not gone his way, to say the least. He is the first retirement, and it's the first safety car, and hopefully only safety car of the event. 3 drivers stayed out. They were the ones on hards. Everyone who was on hards who pitted gone to the mediums. But it's safe to say, though, Jack Miles got the pit stop he wanted, except, though, at the expense of losing track position.
I think you know exactly what Reese Dainty is going to do here on this restart.
Help Cookie.
He's going to hold up this orange car right behind him for as long as he can.
I don't know which one you're talking about. I thought you were talking about John. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
well, realistically, though, for Reese, this is exactly why he got extended. Help out Cookie. Be this way to your first driver. Help him. Help the team, really. And realistically, I mean, I'll be honest, for Reese's case, he's pulled off some really dumb strategies before. We've seen it firsthand. Last week being one of the ones that weren't like that, but I don't really know what other choice he had to do here. Maybe pit for medium, but even then, I mean, you've got to hope for another safety car in this spot, even if you're gonna, you know, help Cookie in his race and compromise your own.
Yeah, Reese is he's a good team player nowadays. He works well with Cookie.
Yeah.
And I just want to point out the only driver, as far as I'm aware. Oh no, I'm mistaken. The only drivers with no penalty, no warnings. C. Davies in the Stake, Wavy Knife in the Williams, and Cookie in the Red Bull.
Speaking of steak, I could definitely go for some right now, but yeah. Speaking of hungriness, I think Leo Lund will definitely be like that in the restart. He'll be very hungry to get by Reese because he saw this already happen in Bahrain. Reese already had this happen in Bahrain, a defensive masterclass to help out Cookie. Didn't really help too much, but now he's got a chance to kind of redeem himself and prove that he can help Cookie even more in this situation.
Lewis Piper has an interesting strategy. He's gone from mediums to hards to another set of hards. So I don't really know what he's doing. But
Got his pit stop out of the way. Maybe going to go the rest of the way, though.
Tadpole and a couple of others, interestingly, also pitched onto the mediums. So they're doing a 2-stop.
Red Fire frustrated with Lewis Piper right there from the lap 1 skirmish they had at turn 2. He said that idiot forgot to brake at turn 1. And Wavy talking about what Robin did was dangerous and late. I think that was their move down at turn 4 to turn 5. Jake Bandy saying his wheel completely disconnected. So he is sorry to the ones that he messed up.
I don't think he was going to score points anyway. Unlucky Jake Bandy, but no, you weren't in a good position. You had a quality ban actually, so you kind of wasted an hour of your life. But well done for turning up and getting in a car and with the restart.
Red Fire Tiger leads this race. He has yet to pit. So has Kieran and so has Reese, the ones behind him. Red Fire is in control of this, and for the first time in a Tier 1 race in an extremely long time, he leads this field. But for how long? When does he go? Red Fire back on the gas now, and green flags are waving. He has the penalty, but behind that, you have TB trying to get by Cookie. You have Cookie trying to get to Leo. How will this all unfold? Side by side between 2 Academy teammates, but when does Leo get the move done on Reese?
Ooh, John having a look.
Oh!
And Leo! Oh!
TB! John! 3 track limit penalties in 1 corner right there. Oh no! Oh!
Okay.
Kieran lost it! Leo has to take evasive action, but Reese got by. That is big news for Reese, but not for Cookie, because Cookie needs to get by Kieran too.
Yeah, Cookie can't lose touch with Leo here. Oh!
Oh! Collision! Cookie saves it though.
I'm gonna click it, but I'm not sure why. I don't know what happened.
Well, Leo is on the back of Reese, and Reese is giving pressure to Redfire as well. Reese knows he's going to need a lot more in order for realistically Cookie to get there, but technically with the penalties, our net leader is TB, who makes the move on Kieran, and now Leo to the inside! Side by side here. Reese defending, Redfire defending the lead. Robin gets a penalty, and Cookie trying to claw back some of the damage he's done to himself. Reese for the lead. Will he go for it? He's trying to, and he is.
He's on your battery.
I know.
Around the
Turn
outside.
two, breaks the latest. Side by side. Reese out ahead, pinching Redfire. Leo in the fight, 3 wide.
God.
Samuel Drake Lee with a penalty. 3 by 3. Oh my goodness. Oh, Reese almost got tapped from Redfire, but Leo to the lead.
That is actually incredible by Leo. I don't understand how he's done that. TB and P2.
Up to second. I forgot he had the penalty, but he is in this fight as well.
That was incredible. That is one of the best overtakes I've seen on this game. Leo
Jack got through as well, by the way. Cam trying to do the same. He got through a Minico. It's all kicking off at this section of the race. Cam is there. He's got his mate in front of him who he's going to try to overtake down the inside. Kieran almost hit the back of the car in front of him. Minico with a penalty.
Penalties accruing now. Reese and Jack don't have a penalty, neither does Kieran. He'll get a penalty for killing Cookie, but oh well.
But to a point Invade made in chat, that was desperation from Cookie, and how will this all unfold now with the two leaders being Leo Lund and TB? Now, John is making the move on Redfire Tiger. American versus French. Now, who's going to break the latest? The last of the late breakers is John, but he pinches! Contact made! They touch! Kieran side by side with Minico in the background. That's Minico getting ahead. John gets ahead.
So these hard runners, the ones who didn't pit need a safety car. Redfire Tiger with a penalty. Actually TB sticking with Leo.
And down the inside, the chiller on the teammate. Tadpole taking evasive action. A move further up in front with Minico and Cam. It is all going crazy here.
What is going on?
Now again, the two Merc teammates.
Stop killing each other. Yeah, it's just one big train. John's been gapped actually. I take you back. John has been gapped. He's 1.4 seconds behind, 1.2 seconds behind. Never mind. So yeah, top 4 breaking away a little bit. TB is sticking here with Leo. This is really good pace from TB.
Less than half the drivers in this race remaining are penalty free. 9 of them to be exact. By the way, you may see the words safety car on the top of the screen. That is not true. We are not under safety car conditions. We are under green flag racing conditions since the restart. But right now, Tadpole is trying to get by Kieran. Here he comes to the outside. He pulled a dummy on him, made him think he's going to the inside, defended, and now ahead. Tadpole on the recovery drive. Robin and Blonde almost come together there. And now Tadpole's around. The Mercedes takes evasive action, and he hits a bit of bullard as well. So Kieran, Tadpole, both off.
Kieran's got damage. Kieran hit the back of him. Tadpole spun by himself and Kieran went into him. So that's unfortunate for Kieran. His race is now in the mud. But yeah, Tadpole is last as well, or second last. So yeah, both of them are royally screwed.
Jack Miles is technically our net race leader for Aston Martin. Can he become the second driver to win under the renamed Aston Martin logo? Will that be the case tonight, where he took a podium here 2 seasons ago in the Red Bull? Robin, Davies, penalties all over.
I think Jack's going to go through here. I don't think Reese got in the DRS, so I think Jack is going to have a good run here. Got the battery charged up. Reese has nothing to play with. Reese doesn't have DRS, so I think this should be pretty slam dunk, probably. And it is.
Here comes Jack.
Jack goes running outside.
And he gets the move done. Cookie threw on Cam as well for 8th. Cookie trying to recover all the damage that he lost as well in that collision that he had earlier on the restart. Blonde, Robin, Lewis Piper, 3-horse race into turn 2. Almost a bit of contact between Robin and Piper, but Robin just edges out ahead. Now Lewis Piper is there on the Academy teammate. Ahead. But just... Oh my goodness! Wing going flying! I think that was the Ferrari hitting the back of him! That might have been Tadpole, and it was! Tadpole has damage!
I think Wavy has damage as well. Wavy's got throwing damage.
Yes,
It's all
it does.
kicking off back here. And Tadpole's had a stinker. Has Tadpole
Here in
got...
pits,
I
he's
don't
at
think Tadpole
mediums.
does have damage.
He got some on the left end plate, it looked like. Or no, he didn't. Someone got damaged. That
It
might
was
have been
Wavy.
Wavy right there.
Wavy's got no wing.
Yeah, I was thinking it was both, but you're right, because Wavy had to take evasive action. Tadpole almost hit the teammate, too. Minico gets by Red Fire. Red Fire's 6 seconds of penalties already to his name. You don't want to add another one, but right now he's losing places. Jack Miles on TB, 2nd place on track. Now to Jack.
Yes, Jack. He's down to
love
P2. Net P1, but Leo is he's ahead and clear at the moment.
Cookie ahead of Red Fire. Red Fire defending from Cam. Tadpole getting Davies. Cam getting a 3-second penalty as well.
Penalty standings.
It's another one.
There's a lot of people with penalties. Kieran gets one.
Wavy in. This race may come down to penalties because right now Jack Miles is going quite quick. 1.2 behind Leo Lunder, race leader, who's probably just trying to keep it clean and track penalty free for the rest of this race.
He's catching, isn't he, Jack? He's catching Leo Lund here.
What is he cooking here? I mean, those soft tires were not it. DeChiller, another penalty. 9 seconds already to his name. We're about to be halfway, Egg, and we might get some disqualifications with how many penalties some of these guys are encountering. Cam almost hit the back of Red Fire there as well. He had to take evasive action.
Cam is eager to get past Red here. Red won't have DRS. I think this could be a slam dunk move down into turn 1. So could Cookie on Minico as well. Cookie
TB with Jack.
Easily going to get past.
TB going for it, regardless of the penalty status. Cookie with Cam.
Reese
Cam
might go
with Red
for it.
Fire.
Oh, Reese.
Yes, Reese will go for it. Nope, he just ducks out. Minico, it was with Cookie, sorry, not Cam, but DeChiller gets Red Fire.
Well done to DeChiller, my goat, up into P9, up into points. The lead Mercedes. And yeah, he's net P8 as well because of well, I don't know actually. He's got loads of pens. He's
Only 6 drivers remain penalty free, by the way.
Well done him. Yeah, I think if we get to the end of the race and someone doesn't have a pen, they will be my driver of the day.
Yeah, definitely with the way these track limits are around here. I don't usually get a lot of track limit penalties, and I got one in the Tier 3 race here that we did not too long ago. So it is costly, that's for sure. Ooh, Samuel Drake Lee, a penalty for him. Remember, he already had one, so that's 6 drivers still without a penalty. Wavy Knife, Metal, Tadpole, Cookie, Reese, and Jack. I'm not surprised Jack keeps it penalty free though, because he usually does that anyway.
Jack is very good on his warnings. He knows when to push. He knows when to not push. He knows when he's not under pressure. He knows when he is. He's going to have to fight for his position. Here he goes, fighting for P2. Up the inside.
Reese not going to fight this. There was a bit of interesting talk between them two in Miami where it was, oh, hold on, Blonde, Samuel Drakely, Tadpole, Lewis Piper, positions trade on the main straight. Yeah, meanwhile, I was just saying about Reese with TB, by the way. In Japan, TB, oh, Minico gets a penalty. I was just going to say, in Japan, TB asked to have the place over Reese. Reese said he wasn't feeling well. Reese gave it to him. Reese felt a little bit wronged in Miami. It was not Japan. It was Japan. Reese gave him the place, I was going to say, but Miami, he felt a bit wronged because with TB, he was fighting it and did not return that favor. And Reese had to make a move on 3 cars. You were one of them. The 2 V cars were the other ones. So maybe not. He felt he didn't get a bit of respect back right there. But I would hope Reese is definitely trying to do all he can to help TB in this situation, regardless of any personal feelings between them two.
I think at the end of the day, they were working as one big academy to get the best result for the academy. Currently, the best result they can get is, well, the best result there in the moment is P3, P4, and P6. So, but it could be P2 here on track as TB back down the inside of Jack.
Maybe he put him vulnerable. Yeah, he did. Reese had a look. Red Fire gets to Chiller on the main straight. Samuel gets Blonde, and now Tadpole going for 3 and 1 here. Will he do it by turn 2? Late lunge? No. Wow. Yeah, this is getting really racy. It seems like the DRS becoming very effective for these drivers, and that being their main resource of overtaking.
Yeah, I think this front lot squabbling has helped not only Leoland pull away, but the other McLaren of John catch the train as well, and Cookie's on his way as well. He's gapped, or he hasn't gapped yet, but he's ahead of everyone he needs to get ahead of in the train behind, and now he's pushing his way towards the front again.
So, Titan said, I think Robin has 21 seconds of penalties. To answer what he was saying, he only has 15. He's the only one in double digits. There are a few of them that are getting close. You got the Chiller, Red Fire, maybe at some point Cam or Minico there in the penalty club, and I did not expect that to happen. You were talking about John running right behind there. He's not doing a bad job in his second Tier 1 race. We have to give him a bit of credit where it's due. But Leo does have the 3-second gap over TB and Jack. That's what's crucial.
Leo is pushing ahead. These two are fighting. Or they're DRS swapping, but it's not really helping them either. Cookie he gets gapped on this straight every lap, but then he catches back up in the middle sector. So, Robin. Now he's got 25 seconds of penalties and he retires. Well, that's going to be penalty points for him then, because that's not allowed.
Unless he has a good reason for it.
He literally doesn't care about the rules. Anyway.
I know he doesn't, but I'm just saying he's got to provide reason. If you retire in the pit lane, you have to provide a reason for it. I know there's a rule about it being right after you retire, but that's not been enforced as much. As long as you really provide a reason, though, they don't seem to care too much, as long as it's a good one. If you just retire for no reason, though, they're gonna ding you for it, and they have dinged Robin for it before already, so, yeah. John tried to make a move on Reese. He forced him into a penalty, but John is going to lose DRS from that, it looks like.
Reese has a penalty now. Reese picking up his
that was
penalty.
What that was. Yeah, so John tried to make a move, and it put Reese vulnerable, and he got it. George is here to join in on the fun, and he's watching Jack being overtaken, his fellow Welshman, for second place now. TB up to second on track, and looking for a podium for VCAR. TB up there for, Cookie up there for Red Bull as well, without a penalty, by the way. Don't count him out. DeChiller got overtaken by Red Fire, and now Lewis Piper is on the charge here. Not close enough to make a move. Robin, by the way, he has said he he retired, by the way, due to his wheel issues that he had prior in F2. He did not want to cause a situation there. So that is good from Robin to do the right thing this time around and provide his reason and at least avoid causing any other issues. He's our second retirement, but now John is making the move this time on Reese. Having a look, putting pressure on the Red Bull. He knows that he can get a place here now due to equal playing ground on the track limit penalties. John was boosting, now moving around. Keep in mind, Jack is still in this fight with TB for a second place finish. We've not seen Jack do this well in quite a bit, at least on track as well. It's been quite a bit. He's had some good runs last season as well in the Aston, but this game it's been a bit of a, a dip in performance for him. But Jack makes the move for second. John makes the move for fourth. Red Fire is into the pit lane on hards. Will we see Reese do the same? He's yet to pit. Remember that.
Red Fire,
by the way, Blonde. Yeah, Blonde, by the way, took a penalty just a bit ago as well.
Oh dear. So how many have we got left? We've got 5 without a penalty now.
That would be correct.
Yeah, Cookie is under pressure from Minico behind.
Well, Titan wondering why Robin retired. He answered that in the Tier 1 drivers chat. He said he did not want to have his wheel issues that happened in F2 happen again. He was feeling that happen. So, unfortunate end to Robin's race here for the second week in Tier 1, it looks like.
Yes, as Leoland's extending the gap to 6 seconds out in front now. So he looks to have it all under control.
Yeah, even if he gets another penalty, it looks like maybe he'll still steer clear and be ahead of Jack Miles here. Jack Miles currently holds the second place spot, but TB wants it on track. Reese Dainty is finally in. TB now to the left side. That was almost a bit late there, but TB gets second place in this race on track. Right now, he'll have P3 on the penalties. He's just ahead of Academy teammate Cookie in his tadpole, in his blonde.
Leo Lund is one more warning away from another penalty.
Ooh, TB, wiggle wobble. Kieran, 3 second. Lots is happening in this race, to say the least, for sure. But that Visa
We have
does
Samuel
not
Drake
look good.
Lee in the points in a Williams.
Oh, we have an off.
And Steve Davies.
Yeah, Lewis Piper off for Haas. He just lost DRS to the cars he was fighting.
That's unfortunate for the Haas. Maybe he can catch back up to his academy teammates. Because it looks like, unless Reese can catch, and Redfire can catch, and Tadpole can catch, that the top 12 or the top 11 at the moment are going to stay the same.
Yep, we have a race on our hands, though, regardless. Even if it's not for the lead, it's for second place here. Cookie will probably get there in no time with the way that TB is fighting this, helping out his academy teammate. But 6.8 is the gap. Lap 22 underway now. Lewis Piper, 3 second for him. Now, John boosting to get past, and he is past Jack now. John is. Will John get TB? Closing, outside, ahead. Wow.
John, Key McLaren 1-2. Oh, it's a woggle. Oh, TB sniffed an opportunity. Minako's out. Minako's tired. He's got a
safety
penalty.
car.
This
What has
really-
happened to Minako?
This really throws the race on its head, though. What's happened to Minako?
Yeah.
He's just gone straight on. Wow.
Did he have a wheel failure? I don't think he would have, but what
This
has
is
happened?
going to. This is going to help the people who.
His
are
car
on
stepped
the
out.
pass. Oh. Well,
I'm going to look
some
from
of
his
these
point of view
guys-
what happened. If you're
Some
okay
of these
with
guys, Samuel Drake Lee, C. Davies, Lewis Piper, they're on for really, really good results here.
Oh. So Minako, yep, we're going to look at these guys pitting in a moment. You're exactly right, but Minako clipped the curb at turn 3 on the left side, and the car went dead right. He had no chance to save it at all. Left tire off of the car. Leo is in. John will be in too, but he's going to back this field up just a little to not double stack as badly.
That is legal as long as it's not below the pit lane limit. As Leon goes onto the softs, that is bold.
The chiller calling out Cookie, saying he's going to get a penalty for an incident that happened.
Jack on top, mediums, TB onto softs, John onto softs. I think the mediums are the better choice here. I think Jack's made the good decision.
Yeah, I would agree with that, especially based on what I saw in the Tier 3 race. No one touched softs unless you were going for fastest lap, and we're out of it with a few laps to go. If there's more safety cars, it makes sense. You would have to have a Japan-like situation happen. Samuel Drake Lee goes to mediums. Lewis Piper goes to softs.
Reese
But-
in, everyone in. Everyone is pitting.
I just want to note this. Jack Miles didn't really lose a place there, but TB gained a place on John. This is big because him and Leo are equal on penalties. We spoke
Leo
about
is-
the possibility last week of a V-Carb win. Will we see it again?
Leo is one warning off of another penalty as well. So it's in doubt. It's on. Jack Miles winning is on. Cookie winning is on. How close can they stay to Leo Lund here?
Mediums for Blonde, who stays out. Mediums for Metal, who pitted a lap prior. Mediums for Redfire. Reese is back there. Tadpole is back there. So is both Mercedes. 3 drivers we've lost from this event. And I want to mention an interesting thing that's been noted by Leo there, Egg. He said, nice, I'm always losing out to safety cars, which is kind of true. But also, I mean, you got to make the most of it too, though. He has 3 seconds of penalties. He's probably feeling shades of what Luke Grange felt back in Season 3 when he was dominating races and maybe not winning it as much as he should have because of the safety cars that came out.
Yeah, I think Leo Lund, I mean, if you're in the lead, if you're always in the lead, safety cars are never going to be helpful, are they? Safety car, you don't want a safety car. You just want to have a nice, clean race, get to the end of the race and win. So I don't understand how he's complaining about being screwed over by safety cars. I think if you're winning a safety car, you don't want a safety car. Simple as that. But
I mean,
Jack Miles,
realistically, he's in a good spot though. He is. This is the first car without a penalty. Egg is fourth, like you were just about to say. Sorry.
Yes, Jack Miles, 1 warning, and Cookie 2 warnings. The only 2 drivers up there to not have a penalty. And Jack Miles, it is truly remarkable how even a track where warnings are, it's like reading the Bible. That's a poor analogy, but he is very good at keeping the car on track, and Cookie's done a good job as well.
I would agree it's a poor analogy because I think reading the Bible is a good thing. Well, that's just me.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, no, I get it, but 1 warning for Jack, says Titan. That is impressive if that's the case, though, especially around this circuit with what we've seen thus far. Minico said he had the car step out just like that, but he was able to stay in the race, and this time he was not. So unfortunate end to Minico's race. We have an Alpine, a Sauber, and a V-Carb out of this race. Mercedes Academy are the only ones to have all cars left in this race, but their cars don't maybe sit the best spot with their main teams. Obviously, Jack sits good in 4th, but Samuel is the 2nd best Mercedes power car, 7th. Then you got Redfire, both Mercedes outside the points, and Wavy. I mean, Wavy could actually, I'll be honest, Wavy could be on here for a
really?
first Tier 1 points finish since Season 8 Texas here if he just keeps it track limit penalty free.
If he keeps it on the track, he could be on for a really good finish.
Come on, Wavy. You could.
Come on, Wavy.
Safety car not coming in this time. Yeah, we do.
Because Kieran doesn't want to catch up. So we'll get another lap. We'll get another lap of waffling. What do I waffle about that?
I'll tell you this, though. This is the good part. We don't have to waffle about this as Blonde is in. This helps the guys on softs, though, this extra lap.
Yes, it does.
That cannot be forgotten about. You said, let's waffle. Well, let's give you a rundown of the rest of the races throughout the remainder of the Tier 1 season. We spoke about the first half of the season, where that goes to our week break. We go to Britain and our week break, but our second half of the season, for those of you maybe not aware, usually don't tune in every week, we have Hungary to start off round 11, then Belgium, Zandvoort, Monza, Singapore, then Texas, Brazil, Vegas, and the 2 tracks we didn't do last game, at the end of the game cycle, we return to for our final 2 rounds of the season. Qatar and Abu Dhabi. We had Qatar earlier today for F2. We know what that'll be like for some of these guys who ran Tier 2, like John. They'll have some experience there. And Abu Dhabi as well, which is Jack Miles' favorite. Maybe a win before then could happen today. I don't know. We'll see.
If Jack Miles wins today, I'm taking my top off.
All right. Well, I'll give you a stat. Jack Miles has 3 Tier 1 wins, but he's never won in the daytime in Tier 1. Maybe that changes today. Maybe I don't jinx him. I don't know. He has 1 warning. Just keep that in mind as we get this restart underway in just a moment in time.
Here we go.
All right, Egg, when we get closer to the last couple of corners, I will let you call this restart. But just a reminder to the folks watching, Jack Miles on mediums, no penalties. Cookie on softs, no penalties. Metal, 1 lap later on the mediums, no penalties. Tadpole and Wavy both on softs, but no penalties. They can win out big here, but remember, track position. It's so hard to overtake here besides the DRS. We'll get DRS next time by, but right now, Leo Lund leads the restart.
Where will Leo Lund go? He goes out the final corner. TB, can he stick with him here? He's dropped off a bit. Can Jack and John find a way past? Jack's going to struggle on these mediums for the first couple laps, I think. As Cookie's also there behind with no penalties. Here into turn 1, TB getting slipstream. Will he go for it? He's a bit too far back, as is John, as is Jack. They will go single file through turn 1, 2, and 3. Anything from the back, there's a lot of moving around, but not many moving around in position. As both passes
the place that he was going to go for. Yep, Tadpole and DeChiller. Now single file.
Ooh, as Tadpole. No!
That's his first. That's his first. Now that's 4 drivers without a track limit penalty. Wavy right now can win out big, even more big than he already was going. TB with a second track limit penalty, runs second. Cam has been overtaken.
Cam went round with a high-speed left. Samuel Drake Lee up into P6. This is absolutely scintillating.
But keep in mind, though, he has 9 seconds of penalties, though, so he needs to find something in order to do just better. But he has a moment and goes off. Rejoins this race alongside the Ferrari of Cam. Now, Red Fire, ready to pounce in the Haas for 10th.
What can he do? Can he get his Aston up into the points behind him? Reece Dainty on the comeback. He's down in P12 with 1 penalty to his name. Leoland fast lap the race. DRS enabled. Here we go. Last 6 laps. It's going to be a shootout. Who can keep it on track? Who can not get penalties? Who can get podiums?
Reece Dainty going bold. Contact with Red Fire, and they both almost go off. Red Fire put him in a very sticky situation. Yes, Tadpole to the inside. From the Chiller's point of view, we can see him side by side. Does he take advantage? 3 wide maybe? No, to the inside of Reece though. Tadpole locks the rears and somehow stays ahead.
Oh, they're still side by side up the hill. Here they go into turn 7. Oh my, this is my words. Scintillating. Reece gets ahead of him. Tadpole breaks out.
Wow. So we know Red Fire, Metal, Samuel, and Jack, they're on medium. So we're going to switch you over to the track limit penalties that drivers have to end this event. Right now, Jack would be getting the victory. Cookie would be just barely getting second with Leo in third. But remember, as you said, Egg, Leo is risking another track limit warning and a penalty with it. And John gets another one.
John, that is not what you needed. Leo, if he gets one more warning, that is a Jack Miles victory or a Cookie victory. Here goes John for P2.
John takes over the 2nd place spot. He's the man to do it right now. Red Fire gets Metal. Reece is there as well. Reece on the comeback drive. He's not had the best of days. It's been a stinker, but right now, 11th on track.
And now you see Wavy at the back of the field with no pens. He is at the back of the field, but he has no pens. I think he's gonna pick up a bronze position finish here.
It's crazy enough, though, that right now he'd be getting Cam, he'd be getting Samuel, he'd be getting Lewis Piper, Red Fire, and even some in front of him, which would get him points. Wavy needs to get on with this and get DRS immediately. They're battling in front, banging wheels. The Chiller, Tadpole, now wheel to wheel here. Tadpole still ahead. Wow!
That was so close to contact there. The Chiller nearly tagged Tadpole's rear wheel, and they got away with it.
Cracking stuff between them. Jack is just outside of 3 seconds, but Cam gets another penalty. That ensures Wavy with points now, it looks like.
I love it, and I think I deserve it.
Yeah. Well, Leo Lund leads another lap, and he is on to lap 29. But right now, Jack Miles needs this badly. So do others like Cookie, maybe for a podium place. Here comes Jack. Here comes TB. Which one's going to do it? TB alongside before turn 2.
Jack's going to have to make a move eventually. He needs to get near Leo Lund's penalty range. He's currently in it, but it's close. It's going.
Oh! Kieran! Blonde! I think Tadpole may have got a piece, but that was the Mercedes cars having moments happen there. That was not good at all, but Red Fire with yet another penalty.
I think he overtook C. Davies off track. What's going on there?
C. Davies getting by Red Fire. Red Fire back up the inside. This is all happening with just a few laps to go. Side by side, Aqua Minerali inside for Lewis Piper. Shoved off his Red Fire.
That's a bit naughty. It's a bit naughty. It allows Reece through as well.
So much at once. Yes, it does. Lewis Piper's off. Lewis Piper gets a straight 3 second.
I think Jack Miles is going to have to burn down the main straight here, try and get into P2, and then he has to push all the way to the line.
He is just out of it. He is just out of it. 2.9 now. He is pushing that battery. Leo is trying to go for fast laps. Now 3-car race into turn 2.
Come on, Jack.
TB. Now Jack to the middle. Gets both.
What a move.
Wow.
Now he needs to push. He needs to keep pushing. He needs to get in that penalty gap and stay in the penalty gap. Cookie's there behind as well.
Reece gets C. Davies. Red Fire gets Lewis Piper. Samuel Drake Lee gets Cam on track. But remember the penalty situation right now in this race. That extra speed with the rear wing being open from Jack has just put him in pursuit of Leo. 2.1. It was 3.0. Collision. Shunt, Cam, and Blonde.
What's Wavy doing?
Leo Lund! Leo Lund!
Oh my
It's
God!
another penalty! Jack Miles, it's his race to lose! He was in heartbreak in this race 2 seasons prior!
Come on, Jack. Keep it on the track. How many warnings has he got? He's got
Just
one.
as you said
He's got.
before.
He's only got one. Come on, Jack.
If somehow Leo appeals that, Jack can use up another warning, but he can't use up any more besides that. He needs to pull this gap over John and TB. John will fight this for his teammate
He's got no
and for
battery.
himself.
TB has got battery.
Yes, he does. Here they come to
nothing.
turn 2. John fighting, gaining, going around the outside, 3 wide. TB, ballsy. John ahead though. And Samuel Drake Lee's been overtaken by Reese. Red Fire gets Lewis Piper and C. Davies. It's all kicking off. Oh my God. Oh, collision.
Oh, what's going on back here? Absolute carnage.
It is. It really is. But Jack is still within proximity.
Cookie's also going to get P2 here, as it sounds. But can he take it away from Jack? Cookie's got a full battery left. Cookie is still within a shout of winning this race.
Cookie was heartbroken in this race last season after a wheel issue. Lost him it. Did he get damaged there, Cookie? I think he ran in the back of Jack.
I think he was fine. I think
he is fine. Yes, he is. TB having a look, though. John playing the ultimate team game. DeChiller with a 3-second. 1 lap to go next time. But it's looking like it could either be a Leo Lund victory. Wavy gets a penalty. It could either be a Leo Lund victory on penalties or a Jack Miles or Cookie victory without penalties. 1 lap to go. John loses it.
Here goes Jack on TB. TB's also got DRS. It's going to be a boost battle down into turn 1. He doesn't have to overtake him. He's going to sit behind him.
Oh my goodness. This is going to be perfect, but I know TB wants to help out Cookie. He surely will here. Jack gets shoved out. Here comes Cookie. Teammate tactics here between the Red Bulls. It's controversy once again.
That is horrifying. Okay.
Right now, Cookie is into the net lead, but Jack is being forced off there. It's between Jack, Cookie, and Leo. 5.3. They may have even costed themselves here. Oh!
I think TB will be looked at in the stewards room. It was just not very nice into turn 1, out of turn 1. But it looks like he's going to win. Disappointing. But Leo is still not miles away from getting the gap, but I don't think he's going to do it.
All right, so Cookie, will it be his 21st victory? Jack, if he's there to pounce, will it be his 4th? For Leo Lund right now, he is entering the final couple of corners. He's trying to push to get this gap down. Leo Lund will cross first. Cookie, though, will it be win 21? This is going to be close. He loses it to the line. Cookie misses out by 16 thousandths. It's the closest Tier 1 margin. Jack is on the podium, but Leo Lund picks up win number 4 just barely. TB 4th, Reese 5th, Jack Miles another podium, but a win once again stolen from him here. And it was from teamwork by the Red Bulls that even costed themselves a victory. Jack will be fuming, Egg. I guarantee it. Points for Metal. Points for John still. Points for Reese Dainty. None for Wavy, it looks like.
Oh, Samuel Drake Lee picking up a point for Williams, though. We'll take that. What a race. Oh, wow.
Karma, Cookie, and TB, says Titan. We'll be able to see our podium celebrations here, please. That'd be great. Yes, Leo Lund sticks up the number 1 finger and lets us know where he finished today after 2 weeks of not seeing the top step. Leo, Cookie, Jack, the podium. Jack, he's on it again. It's, I think, his 25th trip up there. Cookie, his 26th, maybe, I think. They spray the champagne. That is controversial, though. I gotta say that. Samuel Drake Lee, our last points runner. Both Ferraris, 8th and 9th. Metal, 7th. For Haas, another points finish when he's called up to reserve. Reese got 5th from the penalties, even though he had 3 seconds. But teamwork from McLaren with John, he held up Jack and TB, but TB held up Jack, and it costed them a victory. Here are your final results. We lost 3 from this event. Wavy Knife misses out on points by just 2 places, but I'm sure there'll be penalties, though, to come if what we've seen is not it. Fastest lap for Leo. Pole as well. Victory as well. 16 thousandths the deficit. Who would your driver of the day be, Egg, and your closing thoughts?
I believe my driver of the day would be. I think I have 2. I think I'll go with Leo Lund for gapping everyone by 6 tenths in the final sector in the last lap. And I'll go for Jack for being P3 in the Aston, a 10th off the win. And I believe we'll get P2 because I also think Cookie's getting a penalty for something. So
I've heard about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've seen it, and it's probably a pen. But yeah, well done, Jack. Well done, Cookie. Well done, Leo, on the win by 16 milliseconds, which I believe you said was the smallest in history in Tier 1.
In Tier 1, yes, it is. Yep. Well, I will say this. The top 3 at the end separated by less than 15 hundredths. That is crazy. I mean, it was a good race, though, Egg. I'll have to give him credit, but controversy strikes again, and Leo Lund is going to be happy with that one for sure. A 4th Tier 1 victory for him, and he just hung on by the skin of his teeth. That is scary, how much he hung on by. Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. Leo or Jack, I think they played it very well. Even Leo, though, doing the most he could with the safety cars and penalties. Jack put on a good performance. He deserved to win today, but didn't. And some shout-outs as well to some drivers who made comebacks, maybe could have done better, but did with what they could in the safety car as well. Samuel Drake Lee points for Williams. Comebacks from Tadpole and Reese deserve credit. And Medal called up again to Tier 1 to reserve and get some points again.
Yeah, it was... Oh, well done, Medal as well. We had P7, I think, in the end, in the Haas. So that's a very good result for the Haas. And yeah, I just can't get over that gap at the end. That's crazy.
Oh, that's crazy. Titan is celebrating his hotel room for Leo.
Oh my god.
That is exactly what it means from a co-TP standpoint to get that close when the shot was not really there for the victory at the end. I thought I was going to lose my voice like you did once, Titan, back in Season 5 Brazil. That's how much was happening. Well, it's a good thing I didn't, because I need my voice for later on tonight. But either way, we're going to end off here tonight in Imola. No interviews for this one. I think we will next week, though. I should be around. I have to go, so we're going to let you know where we are next week now. We are in Texas for Tier 3 and F2. Tier 2 for Hungary there. And F1 next week is in Canada. That was a race decided by track limit penalties as well last season. We'll see if that happens once again this season. Imola never disappoints, Egg. Thank you for joining me once again. I was glad to have you here this week before Titan comes back next week.
Glad I got a good race to watch as well. That was good. Anyway, well done to everyone.
I'm glad you joined me as well because I have a voice left, so I needed that.
Yeah, I think if you did it by yourself, you'd be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Kind of like Italy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sure you remember that one. But yep. Either way, we're going to sign off for the event tonight. Just a reminder, though, for you folks. Egg, thank you for joining. 5-time podium sitter. That's his credentials, Tier 1 driver, but he'll not be here for the next 4 weeks. So if Titan does miss or anything ever happens, we can always get Egg in, and he'll be here as well for the company, I'm sure, enjoying the action as always. But Ryan Searles, Eggles07, your 2 commentators, signing off from tonight in Imola. We'll see you next week for Canada in Tier 1, but if you're going to tune in before then, Tier 3 kicks off next week in Texas. One of my home races. We'll see you then. Enjoy, have a good one, and good night.